What is going on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch? This is your host, Marcus J, and this is another segment of 717 Sports Chat Live. How's everybody in the 717 and abroad doing today? All right, today we got boxing, y'all. As everybody knows, last night's big fight between Jermell, Charlo, and Castano went down. We had a 3-fight card, and me and my homie here, SP Suckas, we about to bust this thing wide open. What's going on, brother?
What's up?
You already know, man. It's another day in the land, ready to break this bad boy down. We had a few good fights last night. You know what I mean? As you know, I know you caught the whole card. I was at a wedding or whatever, so I just caught everything today.
Yeah,
or whatever. So, but
card.
I caught all three fights, so we good.
Yeah, for 3 fights, that was a good card. Good. I would say
it really was. It really was.
Fights and the little circus they had with the Romero fight. But we'll get into that.
that was a little bit of circles. Yeah, we're gonna get into that first.
Alim, now let's talk about Alim and Videz. Was that his name?
Vidal.
Yeah, Vidal.
Yeah, that was a good fight. That was a fight
right there. Them motherfuckers knuckled up from the first round to the last round, and they were taking some fucking hits. Like their breathing had to be extra crazy because the way they were going at it, it's like they didn't take no breaks from throwing punches. They were throwing.
Yeah, absolutely. I scored that fight 1 point for Vidal. I thought it could have went either way though.
I thought it was a draw.
That's what I'm saying. It could have definitely been scored a draw. I agree with that.
I feel like Vidal caught the first couple fights, and then Alim came back for the comeback to catch the draw. But I wasn't mad at the decision because I guess the way Vidal was catching in the beginning of the rounds, he was really throwing them motherfucking heavy hits. Alim kept coming with the combination punches, but they were like it was like points. Like it wasn't nothing spectacular to him. It was just a quick tap, 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 tap.
Yeah, it was. It was more volume. It was more volume with really not much power behind it. And Vidal was just catching it with the harder, cleaner, more effective shots. But later on in the fight, you did see Alim start to catch him with harder, more authoritative shots.
Throwing them fucking hooks. It was catching that.
Yes, he started touching him up real nice. You just kind of wish he would have did that a little bit earlier in terms of unleashing his power.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when he started landing his power punches, he was able to back Vidal up. You know what I mean? But both fighters, that was a really, really good fight. It was back and forth. That's the type of fight you want, especially for undercard. I say this all the time about boxing.
Especially for the first
about boxing. We don't get enough good undercard fights in boxing. So this was one of the better ones.
That was the first match I ever seen of both of them. It made me want to go back and watch their last matches. Because from what I heard, the last match, Alim got knocked out, and Vidal, they said he won by decision, but it was a lot of people didn't agree with the decision. So I'm gonna have to go back.
Yeah, see, I've watched Vidal's last couple of fights because I've been watching him kind of grow up on the PBC, on the PBC brand or whatever, and I like him because he's a tall guy, rangy, but he's got good. His punches stick when they hit you.
Yeah, he's a power puncher.
But his last fight was debatable.
Yeah. His
last fight was debatable.
I'm gonna have to go very debatable.
And you can even say this one's debatable based on the volume punching of Alim. You know, like Alim, he was ripping off some combinations, but what this fight reminded me of in so many ways was kind of like Paulie Malignaggi and Adrian Broner, where Malignaggi's outworking him, but the harder shots and the telling shots are coming from Broner. Like,
exactly.
That's what this fight was reminding me of. That's exactly what this fight reminded me of. Alim was fast. He had the combinations. He was definitely killing him to the body, but Vidal was just too big, too strong.
You can see,
you know what I mean? It could take that, and he packed more wall.
You can actually see them Vidal's punches slowing down
they was.
A little bit. Then he had to get himself back together, come back in. Whereas
I feel like in the third round, that's when we really seen Vidal's power because he started piecing him up with a couple combinations, and even a left hook staggered Alim back.
Yeah, he hit him with that body shot. He got to catch his breath real quick up against the ropes.
Absolutely. But that was a really good fight. Like I could watch that fight again.
Yeah, me too. That's what I was saying.
I could watch that fight again.
For the first match on the card, that was a good match to start off with right there. to keep you.
Yeah, it really was.
'Cause, you know, usually I
really
don't know about everybody else, but like when I go to fight parties and shit, there's a lot of people that don't really pay attention to the undercard fights. They just wait for the main event to come on.
Main event.
Yeah, me, I'm the type of guy I like to watch these motherfuckers because you never know, these might be the motherfuckers.
Yeah, you never know who you might have waiting in the wings. Yeah. I mean, we had guys. Like, think about it. Kermit Cintron come up through this type of ranking, and Margarito. You know what I mean? Before his hand wrapping issues came into place, he came up on the undercards. We had a lot of good fighters that made it to the big name, to the big Pacquiao.
Yeah,
Pacquiao was an undercard fighter.
The Charlo twins too. I first started watching them on the underfights. The Thurman.
HBO After Dark.
No, they were actually fighting on News 8 when PBC on Fox when it first started coming on Fox. They were actually fighting on Fox too.
I remember, but I remember when the Charlos brothers, when I first started watching them, was on HBO After Dark when HBO still had fucking boxing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's when I'll never forget it, because I remember just before the wild hair, the color hair, my boy Jermell had the straight regular box, cleaned up. You know what I mean? They was doing the intro. He just looked like a regular dude. He wasn't getting to hear no barking, no shit talking, no nothing.
They still had the humbleness.
Yeah, had the humbleness. Still had the humbleness. So I remember that. I remember that first fight. I forget who the guy he fought, but it wasn't like he got him up out of there. He went the distance that fight, but it's always these type of platforms like Showbox, undercards of big pay-per-view fights. It is good to watch some of these boxing cards, because don't get me wrong, a lot of reason why people don't watch boxing undercards is because a lot of people just don't appreciate the science of boxing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just what it is. They want to see an all-out war. They want to see, the main event. You know what I mean? And if you don't get that, it's like, oh, the undercard is a dud. And it's like, nah, man, you gotta watch these fights, because every fighter is different. Everybody has their own style of boxing.
Yeah. So now, if you want to get to the second match,
to Romero.
What's his name? I can dig it, yig it. Man,
yeah, I'm glad you caught that.
But they said,
I laughed my ass off when I heard that intro.
Yigit was a substitution, right, for somebody else that was supposed to fight him? That's what I thought.
Yeah, he was a sub-in.
Man, I don't know what type of match. Like, they should have made that the first match right there, because it was a lot of grappling, pushing, and he even got deducted a motherfucking point for the stupid shit he was doing. The main thing is, motherfucker, how you gonna call out Davis?
And that's the sad thing, is that he captures a lightweight strap for this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the sad thing. See, this is the one thing in boxing that has to be eliminated. They need to figure out, you know what I mean, stop having so many belts. Because then you got guys like this who's getting belts and they can say, oh, I'm a world champion. And it's nothing against the kid, you know what I mean? But one, the guy you were fighting was nowhere near.
He's like, you could tell he came off of it. He just came off of 2 weeks notice to get the fight.
And then the funny thing is, the boy I can dig it. Can you dig it? Yig it. He was giving him problems the first couple rounds.
He started catching him. Every time
he was catching him. That left. He was catching him with that overhand left.
To the floor, like not when he punched him and threw him to the floor, but he just
grabbed him, pushed him. Yeah. Yeah, bro. I saw that shit. I said, oh, yeah, he's dirty. I was like, yeah, he's dirty.
For Romero to call out Davis, I didn't see anything I liked about him. His stance, his movement, his power punches. There was like really nothing. He wanted to be. It's like what he thought he was and what he actually was. He thought he was a power puncher,
exactly.
But everybody's watching that shit like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. I didn't like this. I didn't like his stance neither. I didn't like anything about Romero. I mean, at least Yigit, he had some movement. You can see he had some type of boxing pedigree.
Yeah.
Romero, I didn't know what that. I felt like Romero, watching him, was like maybe watching one of the bros in a street fight. Like, and they don't know if they really want to hit the motherfucker. You know what I mean? They want to, but they don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah, Romero, like, he's about to make that a UFC match. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then yes, the dirty tactics to pushing him. He pushed him to the ground twice. Then he kept when Yigit caught him with a left overhand right. He sat there and he put him in a headlock. You know what I mean? Like, so there was 3 dirty tactics. He's lucky he didn't get disqualified.
That's what I thought he was gonna do, because he probably should have had like 2 points deducted, because the ref kept on warning him, like, yo, you do that again, I'm going to deduct the point. You do that again.
Then and he did deduct 1.
Yeah, so he finally did it. And then like right after even when he took the point, Romero came back and punched the shit out of him, knocked him down right after he took the point. But the following match, the following round, right after that, the motherfucker came back and did something else where the ref had to warn him, like, you about to get disqualified, motherfucker.
Facts. Like, yeah, I thought he was going to end up getting disqualified when he pushed him down like that. Because I was like, yo, there's no way you don't at least. If I was a ref, I would have disqualified him. You purposely sat there and shoved him down. And my issue with that is that we've seen it in boxing a couple times where even if you accidentally shove a motherfucker, they could tear their knee up. They could do something.
Yeah.
Like
when they were showing,
and that's just dirty.
Yeah, when they were showing the replays of all his punches when you get hit the dirt. Every fucking time he went down, Romero pushed him. You can see it. You can see him pushing him off like that. The motherfucker.
Yeah.
Then when he came out, did you see when he ran towards him in the corner? It just like this. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this?
And even the boy Yiggit was like what's that? Like what was that? Yeah. That right there, I think that was. I want to say that was somewhat underground celebrity boxing. That was for comedy purposes.
Yeah, that looked like
that was one of those. That was one of those Triller cards.
Yeah, that like one of the
Triller card
for the Floyd and Logan Paul fight.
Right? Exactly. They should have put that fight on that card.
Hell yeah!
How disastrous that thing was.
Yeah, or they should at least made that the first fucking match.
They should have.
I guess they made it the co-main event just because he had the title.
Yes, and now he's a lightweight champion. Ronaldo Romero is so weird because I have a hard time saying his whole name like that because I feel like I'm saying the Showtime analyst name, not Ronaldo Romero or whatever, because that's his name too, basically, or whatever. But Ronaldo Romero wins the a piece of the lightweight title, calls out Gervonta Davis, and oh man, that's okay. Good, go get knocked out, kid. Go get your payday and go get knocked out, because that's what's going to happen. You ain't going to push Tank like that.
I don't think Davis is going to give him the fight, but I mean, it wouldn't be a bad decision to get some easy money real quick because people are going to tune in. But
another lightweight strap.
Yeah, and if they do, I see Ronaldo going down the first fucking round.
Easy. I see him going out in the first round to any of the top lightweights, and I'm talking about Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, fucking who else is the other? And even though I'm not really too much of a fan, Ryan Garcia, or whatever. Any one of those guys will put this kid out. He has no. I did not see any skill to me that impressed me about him, like from a consistency standpoint. It's like even when he, like you said, when he started putting punches together, it followed with a shove to the ground. Like so, it's like
every knockdown did. Even when he first knocked him down after he got that point deducted, and then he caught that knockdown. I didn't even see it at first that he pushed him to the ground. Then they showed the replay. I said, "Oh shit, that motherfucker pushed the shit out of him."
Yeah, man. Like, and this is the thing. This is why, like, I reiterate this again. This is why they need to get a hold of this belt system up in boxing. Because I'm sorry, guys like him should not have a belt.
Nah.
I mean, you're, and then on top of that, neither one of these two should have been fighting for a title. Because think about if Yiggit wins, he's the champ.
Yeah, exactly. It's like who the hell would want? I feel like if you have a title, it should be people that want to watch you fight.
Exactly.
Like nowadays, there's a lot of people with the title. You don't even know who they are. Like
UFC does it right. The way they do everything in terms of their undercard, how they set things up.
Yeah.
The fighter pay may leave much to be desired, but the way they do the rankings and how they set up certain fights, so even guys like the 7-6 ranked guy might get a title shot. Yeah. I can live with that.
Even even how they set up their mandatories, it's like.
Yes.
Like, are you serious?
The interims.
Yeah, that shit makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like boxing, when it comes to their title picture, I hate to say it, but boxing can be a joke sometimes, and this is a prime example. Like, not to take away from this kid, I understand he's probably been training his whole life. You know what I mean? I mean, if you were trained to push somebody down after punching them in a boxing fight, I don't know how great your training was, but You've been training to get to this point. You finally got there, I guess. You know what I mean? But just me as a boxing pundit, a boxing fan, I didn't see any real boxing skill.
Yeah, nothing. There was nothing there
Nothing.
that would make me tune in to watch him.
No, nothing that would make me want to buy a ticket. Nothing that would make me say
if, they set up the Davis knockout. I'm not even gonna call it.
Nothing that would even make me say, you know what? I want to see this kid against the likes of Garcia, Davis, Lopez, Haney, etc.
Yeah,
nothing at all.
Yeah, and that's a good weight class right now. They got a lot of good fighters.
Oh, that weight class, it's young and it's got plenty of top talent.
Yeah.
And we need to get these fights on their way now. And I will say this about Teofimo Lopez. You know, I had high hopes for him after he fought Lomachenko, but he's starting to piss me off.
Does he have a fight coming up?
He just pulled out. He vacated the IBF belt, and now he will not fight.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Damn,
his next
I
fight.
didn't know that.
He's not fighting Kambosos no more. So he pulled out of that fight. I don't know if that means he's going to fight maybe a bigger name is in the works. I haven't heard anything, but my thing is, why would you give up your strap? Like you said you wanted to be the undisputed lightweight champion, and now you give up one of your belts.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
That makes no sense at all.
That too, like giving up the way they lose their title, like when Gervonta lost his title because he didn't make weight, like shit like that. Shit like that was pissing me off.
That gets on my nerves.
But they had a couple fights. Like I got the DAZN app, so I'll be watching the on there sometimes. And like a lot of guys, it was hard for them to work out during COVID because they didn't have any of the gyms open and shit like that.
Yeah,
so he was saying he had to work out in his room with the trash bag going and the heat on high.
Oh shit!
That's
real as shit.
Yeah, y'all boxers getting buddy. You ain't got your old fucking workout gear.
Now, see, this is what they don't see, but this is what they don't tell you about boxing. This is why guys like Floyd and the Charlos and Spence, and they're smart. They don't really have no real promoters, and this is what's good about working for Al Heyman. He's promoting your fight, but at the same time, you're making your own money underneath. Like he's not pinched to basically pinch. He gets his little percentage. But he's not doing what like guys like Oscar De La Hoya and fucking Bob Arum has been doing for years. Why do you think Canelo got about that Golden Boy deal? He knew what Oscar was doing.
Yeah, he got his own money. Yeah,
raping
shit.
Raping.
Well, he was even in he even got out of his DAZN contract. He just he's just fighting on the DAZN on his own right now. Not no contract, no nothing.
Yep.
Just going to fight.
Well, see, and you want to hear the bullshit? Is I forget. I think I read it or whatever. They said if Canelo, who they say if he wants to fight? No, Charlo. Yes, if Canelo wants to fight Jermell Charlo, that Canelo has to sign a multi-fight deal with PBC.
Yeah, I seen that too.
And it's like, come on, man. Like, Floyd didn't have to do all that.
Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, that's right, because when somebody else is going to fight somebody from Showtime and there's Anthony Joshua Anthony, you know what I'm talking about, the heavyweight. I'm feeling it already. Oh. When he was going to fight, they said, I guess he has a couple fights with DAZN too. So when they when they tried to set up with him and Wilder, they were saying that they were going through something was wrong with the contract negotiations because of Wilder fights for I'm not sure who Wilder fights for, but they're both under two different contracts.
PBC.
PBC.
Al Heyman.
Yeah, then it must be PBC and DAZN. Like they have some little type of beef going on where they don't. They're fighting over money. Who gets the most money?
Well, yeah, because Joshua feels like because he can fill 100,000 plus in Wembley Stadium, he feels like he's the A side. But then Wilder, when he had the big green strap, and that he is a big draw here in America, he's like, well, listen, look at my numbers from just doing regular TV. All your viewers are on from pay-per-view. Mine are just from regular TV, and look what I'm pulling. So that's where that problem lied. And plus, in all honesty, I just feel like Anthony Joshua was scared to fight him.
Yeah, yeah, but girl, go. Okay. Another thing is when Joshua fights, he has to fight in the United Kingdom, which is 2 different time zones. You know what I mean? So in order for him to
Yeah,
set up the pay-per-view to watch it over here in America, we're gonna have to watch that shit like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or some shit.
yeah. See
That's,
now, and you
that's why they
seen what
want Wilder to
happened,
fight.
and
They
you
want
seen what happened when Joshua came over here. You know what I mean? You seen it when he fought Ruiz. He just didn't even look like he wanted to be here.
yeah,
He's more comfortable at home. He don't
yeah,
like coming. The
yeah.
time zone, the jet lag be killing that ass. That's
Word.
what it was. The jet lag be killing his ass for real. He stepped into the ring against Ruiz. My man was sitting there chewing on his mouth guard like, man, get me the fuck up out of here.
That's how even for that when he
Like,
fight Fury, it was gonna come on there like before they canceled it, it was gonna come on like 3 in the afternoon or something because they were supposed to be
yup,
fighting in like United Kingdom or something.
that shit would have easily did, bro. That easily would have did over 100 plus at Wembley Stadium.
Hell yeah.
Easily. They would have had a line probably waiting outside the stadium. They probably would have to put a big screen outside of the stadium just so people can watch it because that's how filled it would be.
When they were fighting in that's the outside stadium, right? Like no overhead or
Soccer
nothing.
stadium, yep.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yep.
They were talking about the most filled fights, and somebody was fighting over there that didn't make it. They were trying to talk about the people who sold more tickets than when Canelo fought in Dallas.
That is true.
When he
Yeah, that
fought
would have
Billy
been
Joe
true.
Saunders. Yeah.
Yep. That definitely would have been true. All right, bro. Well, now we're gonna move on to the main event.
Charlo and Castano.
Bro. What happened? How did you score this fight? Before I ain't even gonna say nothing yet. I want you to tell. What did you score this fight? How did you score it? Did you score the draw, or who did you have winning? If you had a winner,
If I had to pick a winner, I would have picked Castano, but I wasn't mad at the draw. Only thing I was mad at was the score. The score ticket, what was it? 117, 111.
Yeah.
That's what fucks up the draws. Like when Triple G fought Canelo and they did that draw, and then once they scored at 118,
118 and 110.
Yeah, they scored that
something like that.
Which a lot of people would have been happy with the draw. But when you get a judge like that with a crazy ass card like that, it makes you mad at the draw. Like, nah, this is some cheating shit. So at first, I was kind of mad at the draw decision because of that card. Then I thought about it. I'm like, if they would have scored it, had him winning by 1 point, 2 points, whatever. Not even 2 points, 1 point here, and then the other one had Castano winning 1 point. The other one with the draw, I'd have been happy with that. But when you get cards like that, it's like, come on, man. Y'all got to get it together. Y'all got to get y'all judges together.
You got to get this right. This is the big one. Like, my thing is, this is for all the belts at 154. You have to call this the right way. Down the middle, the entire way. You have to call it right.
Another thing, because I'm a Charlo fan, right? But another thing I didn't like at the end about Charlo was when they asked him if he would give him a rematch. And he seemed like he didn't want to fight Castano again. And it seemed like to me, because it was like, I got to see what my manager says. You know, usually fighters be like, yeah, I'm down. I'll give him a rematch. Nah, he seemed like he was scared. He's like, I got to talk to my manager, see who he wants me to fight. And I was just like, oh, come on, man. You supposed to take that.
Do you want to know why?
But
do you want to know why?
You know why I gave it to Castano if I had to pick? Castano was tearing his body up and throwing headshots.
He was doing everything.
Charlo was barely throwing no body shots until like the last 3 rounds. But he did have a good comeback at the end. When he started throwing them things, he did hurt Castano a little bit.
And the 10th round, I think the 10th round, to me, is what swayed the judges to kind of make it closer and to make it more of that draw. For me, when I scored the fight, I had Castano winning the first round just based on activity. I had Charlo winning the second round, easily winning the second round, because that's when he caught him with that big left hook, and then he start chasing him around the ring, hitting him with some good shots.
I thought that's when he's gonna come in throwing them things. I thought he was filling him up for the first round. Now he know what he's gonna do. He's gonna come in there. But when they made
there's round 3. I want to say maybe rounds 3 through 8. is I gave all to Castano because he was, like you said, he was lighting him up everywhere, and it was pressure. It was constant pressure.
And he kept throwing him. Yeah, he kept throwing his back up against them ropes. He even caught him with that one body shot where I feel like if them ropes wasn't behind him, he would have hit.
That was a knockdown. That should have been a knockdown.
Yeah,
because that should have been ruled a knockdown because they always say this is a rule in boxing. The ropes cannot hold you up. If you are going down, the ropes cannot protect you from going down. That should have been scored a knockdown.
When he hit it, his legs came back to life just before he went the whole way down. Because if those ropes wasn't behind him, he wouldn't have had his balance was off. He would have went down.
This is why I mean, and I was fucking around talking shit. Listen, these young men, the Charlo brothers, they're not bums per se.
Yeah.
But this is why me personally, I don't like them. Because when I look at both of their records, not just Jermell, you know what I mean? I hold both of them accountable. When I look at y'all records and the people you guys have fought, to be barking like that, you haven't beat nobody on that level to be barking like that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I keep telling.
And then with Jermell, you already lost once. You know what I mean? You rectified that loss.
I don't know.
This is a different animal.
That loss he caught though, I think they played him. I think he won that month. I think he won that match, but they were both fighting.
I personally felt like he did lose.
On the same card. I feel like they gave him the loss because him and his brother were both fighting on the same card. They didn't want them both to come out winners.
I felt like from how I scored the fight, I gave it to Harrison just based on especially jab output. That boy's jab was there the whole night, and I felt like Charlo didn't do enough. I was like, yo, I'm like, the opportunities are there. Like in the second fight, how he took his opportunities and he got him up out of there. I said, now see, if you just would have did that in the first fight, you wouldn't have had this problem again.
That's what happens when you got a lot of mouth. You expect a lot from a fighter. That's what they don't get. They start talking crazy. Exactly. You don't expect a lot from you, and then y'all can't hold y'all tongue and shit like last night's happened.
The last two fights that they both fought. Last night with Jermell fighting Castano, and with Jamal fighting the one Mexican boy he fought. Now, mind you, as we know, that boy, the last boy that Jamal fought, nobody really knew who he was.
Yeah.
But both of these boys put that Mexican style pressure on him. Yeah. On both of them.
Did.
You know what I mean? And this is why I say they both say, oh, eventually we both want Canelo. You don't want Canelo.
Nah.
You don't want this. You do not want this because you both. What I see in them both. They do not like pressure. They don't like somebody being in their face.
What I was just reading was his brother. He said, "I'll fight." He said his brother said, "I'll fight Triple G to earn my Canelo fight." And I was thinking about that. I was like, "Man, you don't want that neither."
You don't want that. You don't even at third. Well, GGG is what 38, 39 now.
I still think they don't got what it takes to beat Triple G.
I want to say maybe even skill-wise, no. But I would say if they would implement the game, if Jermell, anyway, because he's at 160. Yeah. Jamal's at 160. So what I would do, I would implement the game plan that Canelo did in his second fight, and that's throw more body shots because he's older. You know what I mean? And as we know this, you can't escape father time.
Yeah, and then Triple G can take some motherfucking shots to the head. You might
have to break him down. You're going to have to break him down.
Yeah, when him and Canelo was fighting, those were some of the craziest punches I ever seen. Like, yo, these motherfuckers got some hard-ass chins because they both get hit. None of them going. These is hits motherfuckers supposed to be hitting the ground from. These motherfuckers just keep on going.
That's a fact. Yeah, you got those. That's world-class training right there. That's what they call world-class chin. They train themselves to take them shots like that. But that's why I'm saying for me, for both Charlo brothers, I look at them and I'm like, one, your resume is thin, especially in terms of top opposition, top fighters, and then on top of that, these guys who you are fighting are starting to figure you out a little bit, and the key is pressure. Y'all do not like somebody being in your face, somebody being in your chest, somebody who's hitting you everywhere in the body, uppercuts. Everything. They do not like it. Yeah. They want somebody who's just gonna let them be them. You know what I mean? Be flashy, flash that power. Stand right in front of me and let you hit me.
Yeah, because Castano, I didn't know he had that much power. That motherfucker was punching the shit out of Charlo yesterday. But that's the thing
Yeah, he
about the
was.
Charlo twins too. When the Charlos fight and they throw them punches, you can hear them punches hit over the crowd. So when I heard Castano hitting that motherfucker when he was catching him, I was like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers gonna go at it. But the way it went, I didn't expect it to go like that. I didn't think he was gonna have Charlo back up against the ropes that whole time. That motherfucker had Charlo up against the ropes like the first 6 rounds. Then even
Yeah,
after
bro, he
that,
was putting
Charlo
it
trying
on
to
him.
escape. He made
I
Charlo
had
make
Castano
his
winning
feet.
this fight.
You had Castano winning?
I had Castano winning this fight.
I had Charlo winning.
I had Castano winning. Give me 1 second.
You mean before the fight? You stink.
Yep.
You mean before the fight you had Castano winning?
Yep.
Yo, can you hear me? Yo. Come on. Can you hear me?
Let me go grab my other headset. We're gonna go on a break real quick.
All right, cool. Go get your diaper changed. Stink. All good?
All right. Yeah, now we good.
All right.
Yeah. My bad about that. Shit was acting a little funny over here with this
It's all
internet. I think
good.
this new box, you know what I mean, trying to get used to everything over here.
Yeah, so
Shit, done told me something went wrong. I had to re-enter the broadcast and everything. I'm like, oh man, y'all playing with me. Come
I was
on,
wondering, I was
man.
like, damn, I've been in the
They
guest
trying to
room
knock
for a
my
minute.
ass out the stream. Shit. They trying to put me to bed. Shit. But yeah, bro, like I just feel like for me, I gave Castano this fight just based on pressure, activity. He did more. Charlo made a good acquittal for himself, especially at the end. That's why I feel like what pulled him towards getting that draw, that big 10th round, because you could have scored that round 10-8.
I feel like he should have kept coming hard after that. Because you can see Castano, he was losing his
he was getting
feet.
tired.
He was losing his legs after that, and Charlo didn't put in like he was supposed to after that. Because I feel like he could have put him down, but he didn't put enough pressure on him. If he would have put more pressure on him, it might have went a different way. But I'm not mad at the draw, but I would have probably gave it to Castano too. The only reason, like I said, the only reason I was mad at the draw is because of the cards, because of that middle card. That middle card was bullshit.
That was too far of a gap.
Yeah, there's no way in hell you got Charlo winning nine rounds. That's crazy. You can watch that shit.
No way.
And I still want to see it.
No way. Well, that was Al Heyman, man. And this is what we know about boxing.
Yeah, it's the same
thing. Well, now Charlo talking about, his manager.
Yeah, he gonna say, I gotta see what my manager say.
Well, you know what his manager gonna say, bro? This is money now.
Yeah,
it's money because now everybody's gonna want to see this fight again.
Yeah, I definitely do.
I do. Yeah. And if he's smart, he better take this. But I think, like I said, that pressure. He's scared of that pressure. You know what I mean? I don't think he liked that pressure. That's why he said what he said. All that barking and all that shit that him and his brother usually talk. He ain't sound so sure of himself after the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, he even tried to lie. He tried to say, yeah, I think I won that. No, you didn't, motherfucker. You don't damn well you won that shit.
Hell no. Hell no. He don't think he won that. He lying to himself.
He didn't even say it with confidence. He was just like, yeah, I think I won that. Like, motherfucker,
yeah, he didn't win.
You was at home. You was in Texas, man. That's where you from. You was supposed to put in work out there. You supposed to. That's the only thing. They both had their.
This is the problems. This is the problems with guys like him and his brother. And they say they want that type of fight. You really don't want that type of fight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
he thought that was gonna be a.
They want somebody who's gonna be he want a walkthrough. That's what they want. They want walkthroughs. That's why their resume is what their resume is. You know what I mean? They ain't like Spence, who has fought top guys. You know what I mean? They haven't fought nobodies. Exactly. And then when you fight somebody who's actually a lot better than what you thought, you know what I mean? This is the type of problems you can run into.
Yeah.
This is definitely the type of problems. But you got to make this fight because there's still no undisputed champion.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's really nobody worth money. No, he's not going to make and that's the best money he's going to make is off of a Castano too. That's
a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Unless he were to try to move up a weight and get a fight, maybe and sweep the rug underneath his brother with a fight against Andre or GGG. But even the fight against Andre, because Andre's kind of like in the same boat of like an Arislandi Lara and Guillermo Rigondeaux's that very good technical boxer, not much fanfare, like a Terrence Crawford. Very good technical boxer, not much fanfare behind him.
Yeah, but I feel like that Terrence Crawford and that Spence, that shit needs to happen. I feel like at least by next year. If Spence wins
definitely does need to happen.
As far as Spence and Pacquiao, if Spence wins this, his next fight has to be Crawford.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Speaking of Spence and Pacquiao, that's what we're gonna touch upon now. Well, it was announced because remember this fight was in jeopardy because of that lawsuit that Pacquiao apparently had on him. But I figured that wasn't going to be much of anything. You know what I mean? It's Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? They're not going to stop that shit.
With their agents and all that shit, all the paperwork. But as far as Pacquiao being a fighter, that motherfucker don't back down from a fight. When he wants a fight, he's going to try to get that. or if he's offered a good fight, he's gonna take it. That's one thing I like about Pacquiao. I ain't never heard of Pacquiao backing down from anybody.
That's a
After
fact.
all the years he's been in boxing,
that is a fact.
all the
He
years
has
he's been
never
in
ducked
boxing,
nobody.
when a top guy calls him out, he takes that fight.
That is the truth. You know what I mean? That is the truth. And it's so fucking funny because did you really think, especially after he got stretched the way he did almost 9 years ago against Marquez, that he'd still be here fighting? Because I didn't.
I thought it was a wrap after that. I thought he was going to lose his confidence. I thought he was going to go into a depression. Nah, that motherfucker came back ready to fight.
See, I figured that he would be back, and I figured after that he got knocked out like that, then definitely Floyd would want to fight him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even more so then, now that he's even more softened up. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what we got. But to be here past 40 and still fighting the young top guys,
I felt like like fighting the top guy. I feel like he's gonna come back, but I thought he's gonna take walkthroughs like you were talking about. I thought he's gonna take that motherfucker take anybody. He don't care. That's one thing. Like when you see Pacquiao and you hear him talk and like the way he gets ready for fights, you would never think that motherfucker got knocked out like that because that motherfucker was especially with the social media nowadays, that motherfucker was a meme for like a whole month after that.
Yeah, he was.
Photoshopping that motherfucker.
What Stephen A. went on First Take. I'll never forget that segment when it was Skip and Stephen A. on First Take, and Skip was clowning on. Stephen A. was clowning on Skip, and he was like, he said they had to wake your boy up with smelling salts. You have people on the internet saying, "Manny, are you okay? Manny, are you okay? Are you okay, Manny?" He all started crying on the that's not right. Yeah, they was killing him, but there's something somebody shared this meme, and it was a quote from Mayweather and Pacquiao, was split screen, and Mayweather, said something about, "I don't have to fight anymore." You know what I mean? This and that. Manny has to fight for money. This and this and that. I just fight to entertain. This and this and that. Yeah. And Manny said, "I don't fight." He said, "I don't fight." To just entertain people. I don't fight just for the money. I fight because I really just want to still be the best in boxing.
You can see that. Like, you can see that he's a pure fighter. Like,
yes.
That's why when people say, like, I'm a Floyd Mayweather fan, but I'm pretty much a Pretty Boy Floyd fan, not Money Mayweather. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like Money Mayweather is a businessman. Pretty Boy Floyd, he was out there. He was coming out there.
He'll fuck you up.
Yeah, but then again, you wanted to watch him again for his defense too.
Yes, because he had to. Yes,
not get hit.
He could stand in front of you and you could not touch him.
Yeah, when you came Money Mayweather, he was just like, all right, I'm gonna do enough to win this match and win this match.
Yeah,
I mean, punch, run.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people. Like these new Floyd Mayweather fans, they know Money Mayweather. They don't know Pretty Boy.
Yeah, they don't know Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather.
Pretty Boy Floyd was a fucking problem.
Yes, they don't know about Pretty Boy Floyd when he fought Diego Corrales, God rest his soul. When he fought Arturo Gatti, God rest his soul. Yeah, you know what I mean, when he fought Zab Judah.
That was one of my favorite fights.
That was too. That was too, because Zab gave him a run, and in all honesty, Zab really knocked him down. He gave Floyd his first knockdown, and the ref called it a slip. When you go back and watch the tape, the glove touched the
glove touched the ground. He pushed himself back up real quick. His legs went out on him, but his arms pushed him back up.
Yep,
that's the same thing with Charlo. If Charlo wasn't against them ropes, them legs wouldn't have came back in time.
And that's the thing. I'm surprised the ref didn't call the knockdown, because usually they're pretty good with that. When the rope save you and they see that they call the knockdown anyway.
Yeah, but if you go back to the first fight, Aleem and Videz, when Videz caught Aleem with that body shot, he was the same thing. He was up against the ropes. You can see it in his face. That was like, oh. The ropes caught him before he went down. The rope saved a lot of people last night.
That's true. That's true. But we got Pac-Man Spence preview. How do you think this fight will play out?
After watching last night, and then I don't know. You said you watched the fights last night on YouTube, right? Did you watch the pre-broadcast when Spence was talking about when he fought as an amateur? He fought Castano.
No, I didn't catch that.
He said he lost to Castano as an amateur fighter. Because when I heard that, I was like, oh shit, I really gotta watch this guy fight.
Yeah,
So
that and you saw last night. He can really fight.
yeah,
He can really
yeah.
fight. He can really fight.
So I don't know with Pacquiao Spence. I kind of lead. I was going for. I thought it was gonna be. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be an easy walk for Spence because of Pacquiao old head. But after watching last night's fight, it kind of gave me flashbacks of what Pacquiao could do. So I'm leaning towards more Pacquiao right now.
I never thought I would say this in my life because I'm a big Errol Spence fan. I love that kid. I think he's
Yeah, me
really
too.
good.
I like the whole lines, the whole little lines, whatever they
Yeah.
call each other lines. Then I like the whole little
Yeah.
training group.
Yeah. Man, this fight screams danger, 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 danger for me. And the reason why it does that for me, and everybody's like, oh, Spence should be able to beat him because of the size and the youth. This is why I differ from that. Is because you see what Sean Porter did to Spence.
Yeah,
And he was able to get inside with rough. I mean, he was rough house, but he
and
was able to rough him
Sean
up
Porter's
and
Sean
put
Porter's
him on the
style.
defensive.
Sean Porter's style is crazy. Like when I watch him
It
fight, I'm
is.
like, yo, this motherfucker. It seems like he can't fight, but it's just his style. His style is so
Yep.
unlike. It's so unlike anybody else's that when you watch him fight, it's like, what is this motherfucker doing? But he be catching motherfuckers.
And this is
Pacquiao,
what scares me for Spence is that if I feel like this, it's not that Sean Porter don't have skill. He has his own skill on how he gets inside and fight.
yeah,
And I
exactly.
feel
He
like
gets
if
in
a
there.
guy who's slower, more flat-footed, can get inside and pressure Spence like that and give him a lot of problems. I mean, because the truth of the matter is, if Spence doesn't knock him down, they could have gave that fight to Sean Porter.
Yeah,
So I'm looking at it as if this guy who's pretty footed, but he's wild and he's rugged. Imagine what a guy like Manny, even at his advanced age, who gets in with speed, in and out, good boxing, in and out footwork. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And we all know if Manny starts putting combinations together, that's enough pressure for anybody to handle. And I've never seen Spence really fight somebody like this in terms of the speed and the sneaky power that Manny possesses
Not even
and the
that.
skill.
His
And
boxing,
the
his boxing
skill.
IQ,
The
his ring
IQ.
IQ, the way he move
Yes.
around and everything. He knows how to
And
get open shots.
that's what scares me because sometimes Spence himself can get pretty flat-footed.
Yeah.
And that's what scares me against Pacquiao because we know Manny's going to be in and out. You know what I mean? He is going. If this is all Freddie Roach and Boo Boy Fernandez is telling him, in, out, get in and out. Do not.
Another thing I like about
This
Pacquiao
fight.
too. Another thing I like about Pacquiao, you never know how he's going to come in. He might come in as a counter puncher. He might come in as a throwing jabs, catching you real quick, moving. You never know what type of fight he's going to give you.
Feints.
Yeah, you never know what type of fight he's going to give you until you get in there.
He has some of the best feints I've ever seen. Like, and that's my thing. Like I said, when Errol gets flat-footed, then what happens? Because I see this like kind of like I'm gonna put it this way: if it's a domination for Pacquiao, I could see this being played out like how he beat up De La Hoya because of the speed and because of the in and out and the movement, and because, like I said, Errol gets so flat-footed sometimes, and it gets on my nerves because I don't like that. You know what I mean? And he just gets so flat-footed sometimes. And against Pacquiao, you can't do that. You got to be on your toes.
Yeah,
you got to be on your toes.
The thing that I really leaned towards Pacquiao last night is just I started remembering his boxing IQ. Like he's gonna figure you out. He's gonna tear you down. He's gonna break you down. But the thing about Spence too, is that motherfucker hits hard. And don't forget, you can't forget that Pacquiao went down the way he did before.
Spence loves to go to the body.
Yeah, if he catches Pacquiao like that, you never know. He might be able to put him down too. But I feel like
it's true.
Even if Spence does put him down, a lot of excuses are going to come about his age and a bunch of other bullshit. But at the
I
same
can see
time,
that. Yeah. I don't think it'll come from Manny. I think it'll come from Manny's fans. That's one thing. I mean, other than
That's
the
another thing
Mayweather
about
fight,
Pacquiao.
Manny doesn't
Pacquiao,
really
he'll
make
never,
excuses.
yeah, he never talked down on anybody he beat, anybody he lost to, none of that shit. Me and my
Other than
stepdad,
Floyd. Other than
yeah,
Floyd.
yeah, except for Floyd.
He
Yeah, that's
took
like his
Floyd.
arch
My
nemesis.
boy said after the fight, he said, "I think I won the fight." They said, "You think you won the fight?" He said, "Yeah." He was like, "Why do you think that?" Because he didn't do nothing, man. I was like, "Damn." You know what I mean?
Last night before they fight, they had Thurman interviewing Manny Pacquiao and shit. He asked Pacquiao if he really named his dog Thurman. Pacquiao said, "Yeah."
Good. I'm glad Pacquiao did that too. That's good. That's good. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? Yo, I ain't even gonna hold you. You know who fucking Thurman always reminded me of up until he cut his hair?
Ooh.
Josh. I swear to you, every single time, I swear to you, he reminded me of Josh. But you know how he talks. I like Thurman's fighting style. I didn't like his like promo skills because you know who Thurman kind of reminded me of the way he would talk. He reminded me of those creative players on 2K. How you put the sentences and you can talk for him.
Yeah, you pick what you want him to say and shit.
Yeah.
That's funny because like when I was a fan, I'm still a fan of Thurman, but I'm not a big fan like I was because when he was still fighting on PBC before he ever even won the title, it was, before he fought Garcia and all that shit. Like he was out there putting in work, and then he wasn't turning. Like once he won the title, he started talking like he was big shit. Like just cause like how you said with the titles and the way they move around in boxing, he caught that title. He was talking like the boy Romero. Like he thought he could pick whatever fight he wanted. He started. And then he lost that match to Pacquiao. Then no big names wanted to fight him anymore. No big names wanted to fight. Now he's out here looking for a fight. The only one that'd take him right now is Danny Garcia because Danny Garcia caught them last 2 L's. Yeah, they both.
And they both need it.
They need to get that.
Another fight that he could take. Excuse me, that he should have took, and he turned down was that I want to say is he Colombian or Haitian boy? The boy Yordanis Ugas, the one who fought Porter and gave Porter, and people thought that they should have gave the decision to Ugas that Porter lost that fight. Yeah. I thought that's a fight Thurman should have took because the boy is a good fighter. He's underrated.
He's on decline at that time. That would have been an easy win for Thurman. Because after that, he went. 50 Cent was promoting him. He was under 50 Cent promotional team. The boy.
That's right, Ugas. Yeah, that's right.
It's like as soon as that shit happened, his career just started going on.
50 still got a boxing promotion team?
I don't think he does anymore.
But
at that time he did because that was his first fighter that he signed.
Got you. No, that's right. They did talk about that. No, that boy bounced back from that. He's like top now. I think he's like I want to say he's in the top.
He tore his Achilles his last fight or some shit. Yeah, he tore his
I didn't know he had a fight recently because I know after the Porter fight he fought somebody and he dominated the boy, and then he was scheduled to have a fight, and the last I heard it was postponed. So that's probably why I didn't know he had a fight recently.
Yeah, I could have swore he lost to the boy that Davis just beat up.
Barrios?
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that too, because I think that's who it was.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to.
I think that's the fight where he tore his Achilles.
Barrios fought at welterweight?
I think so.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, because I was watching that at my boy crib. He ordered.
Because if that's true, now think about this. If that's true, and Barrios did beat Ugas and then came down to fight Davis, and obviously came down to 140 and caught a belt and then fought Davis, that's even more impressive on Davis's half because then that means he beat a true welterweight.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying when I was at that fight. They were telling me because I didn't know they fought either. I was like, "You serious?" He said, "Yeah, man, it's tore his Achilles." Because they said that they would say that's the only reason Barrios won that fight. But they said Bull pulled through until 12th round. They said he pulled through with that broken, Achilles ain't nothing to play with. They said he was just standing on his feet getting away, but he wasn't throwing shit. Like, yeah, that's what they were saying. I'm gonna have to look into that.
I hate when that shit happens like that for fighters.
But you got respect.
But yeah, man. I'm personally, I want Spence to win, but man, it's like the old saying, the turning back of the clock. I think this old motherfucker gonna come in and put in a boxing masterclass and beat him by decision. I don't think he's gonna knock him out.
Yeah, I hope it.
I think
That's what I hope it goes to.
I got this fight going the distance.
Yeah,
I think this is going to be a decision.
Too. Yeah,
I think Pacquiao's movement, if he's even got, I'll say this, if he's got 75, 80% of what he was, you know what I mean? With movement and speed, I think with the value that he can still throw, I think he can beat him by Spence by decision because, like I said, sometimes Spence, he tends to lag and he tends to get flat-footed and, you know, kind of plod a little bit. You know what I mean? But I want Spence to win. I want Spence to win to usher in this new era. You know what I mean? But this is still an iffy. This is a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, to me, this is like a Rock versus Stone Cold. Like, you want one person to win, but you really don't want the other person to lose. You know,
that's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact, bro.
That's why I said more big names need to fight each other, especially y'all be Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and all them. They need to start fighting each other. Stop fighting.
He's starting to, like I said, Teofimo's starting to get me mad because he did all that shit after Lomachenko, all that talking that, yeah, I'm fighting all these guys, and then you bail out of your mandatory now, and then unless you got a big fight for me, I don't think you want to fight any of these big boys.
Exactly. And I feel like if you're a big name like that, you're supposed to take any mandatory, especially if he's unheard of. Like, nah, you're supposed to take that. That's money coming in. You take that easy win. You know what I mean? That's you add that to your record. Nobody can't say shit. That's a lot. That's why when Canelo beat up that Russian dude that was basically a punching bag. His first fight in the
Callum Smith.
Yildirim.
Sergey. No, Yildirim. Yes, Yildirim. Yes,
when he beat Yildirim, a lot of people didn't understand that was his mandatory. You know what I mean? That's the only reason he took that fight, and that's why he's not fighting on. Did you notice he's taking all these fights on the zone? Because you know they're not big fights. You fight. You
well, not even just that.
But you catch
this is what's in the 168-pound division right now.
That's what he's catching. And he said he's trying to unify the titles. A lot of people say he's ducking fight. He wants to unify the titles. Once he do that, he take all the big fights so he can put them titles on the line and catch that pay-per-view money. Because
you know who I would like to see him fight?
Who?
I would like to see him fight Zurdo Ramirez.
Yeah.
I would like that. Or Benavidez.
Yeah,
Benavidez. I like Benavidez.
Yeah.
I like Benavidez.
I don't see Benavidez beating Canelo, though.
I don't think he could beat Canelo, but I think it would be an interesting fight for a few rounds.
Yeah.
I think it would be an interesting fight. The reason why I don't got Benavidez, I'll say this. If they move up to 175, then I'll say, okay, Benavidez has a better shot because I feel like he's killing himself to try to get down to 168. Benavidez.
Yeah, that weight loss is crazy. That shit fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think that weight cut is killing him, and it'd be in his best interest to move up to 175. You know what I mean? But man, it's between boxing period, between lightweight and all the way up to heavyweight, man, we got a lot, man. We got a lot of good fighters, man.
Yeah, I like
and it's so funny because when much to UFC's credit, you know what I mean, when they came in hot, you know, in the glory days with Liddell and, you know, Tito and all them, they all said that boxing was going to be extinct, and it's like, nah, bro, boxing's never going to be extinct.
Yeah,
it just got better. That's it.
Yeah, how you feel about Andrade?
Andrade? Demetrius Andrade?
Yeah, Demetrius Andrade.
I think he's the most avoided fighter between 160 and 168.
You serious? Did you watch his last fight?
He's bro. Listen, He didn't show up for that fight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He didn't show up for that fight. But I'll tell you a fight he will show up for: Canelo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He wants that fight, man. He wants that fight, and I personally think Canelo's ducking him. I know. The reason why I say that is because
he's not giving him a fight because of what he did at that press conference when he came in there with his dad and shit.
That should be more of a reason why you give him the fight, Canelo.
Canelo said nah,
he disrespected you.
Yeah,
that was one of the funniest press conferences I've ever seen.
That was funny as shit. He said, "Get the fuck out."
What was funny about that? It was a classic moment because my boy was the whole time talking through the translator until this motherfucker showed up. When this
Oh,
guy
yeah.
showed up and started talking this shit, he said, ha, he said, ha, get the fuck out of here, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Get there, I'm gonna fuck you up right here, right now. I was like, yo. I was like, fight.
He
Like,
started
let's
cursing,
go.
he started cursing his fucking
You know what I
dad
mean? Like,
out. He said,
shit.
you too, get the fuck out. Get
Hell
the fuck out.
yeah. Hell yeah, man.
I don't-
They
I don't-
gotta fight. It's gotta
Yeah.
happen. Like, my thing is this.
I'm telling you, once
I'll
Canelo
put this way.
unifies, once he unifies,
How
with the fighters,
Andre
he's
could
gonna
put
give you the
himself,
fight.
how Andre can put himself though in a better position, Canelo had a point.
Yeah.
Fight somebody, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Fight
yeah.
somebody. Won't you go? My thing is challenge GGG.
Exactly. That's what I don't understand. All these people that went Canelo, all they got to do is fight Triple G. Canelo cannot turn you down. If you beat Triple G, Canelo cannot turn you down. If you lose to Triple G,
That's
you
a
get
fact.
Triple G versus Canelo 3. So you win either way.
That's a fact, man. I that's what I don't understand neither. Like, and you seen that boy Derevchenko. He gave GGG a run for his money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The one boy that a lot of people felt that GGG lost to. Now that's why I don't understand. Okay, yes, is GGG still dangerous? Yes, but he's only getting older.
Yeah.
And
he's not,
you know what I mean?
He's not even showing, usually he'd be on the sidelines watching the fights no more. He's not even showing up at the fights no more. So right now, you don't know what the hell he's doing.
No, he's unless he's reinventing his whole like regimen to, not allow father time to catch up to him.
Yeah.
He's getting old. Like, you know what I mean? So this is the right time for a guy like Jermell Charlo, for a guy like Demetrius Andrade. Challenge him, beat him. Now,
it's basically Canelo mandatory if you beat Triple G. Basically, that's what it is. Yeah. Like,
and then there's no excuse.
Nobody's going to
because now people know you.
Because what?
Now there's no excuse because now people know you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If you're a guy like Andre who doesn't have much fanfare, you beat GGG. Now everybody knows who the fuck you are.
Yeah,
I know who he is because I watched him in the amateurs, and I've always liked him and been a fan.
Yeah, I watched him because he always comes on I got the DAZN app. He's always on. That's where his fights are always at. That's where I was first watching Billy Saunders too, because I like the Billy Saunders. He was actually catching Canelo.
He was, man,
catching Canelo those first couple of rounds, but
until that one uppercut.
Yeah,
that uppercut stuck through that guard. He said,
you know how many times I watched that fight? The more I watched that fight, I felt like Canelo was just learning me. That's why he was getting them joints off. Yeah, he was just learning. Then after that, he knew exactly what hit to get him with.
Yep, because what he kept seeing Billy Joe. He kept seeing Billy Joe every time he would try to, do his shit. He would dig down. He kept digging down.
That's why I was watching that shit when Billy Joe had his hands down, like basically the whole match, and he was getting in there. I'm like, yo, why the fuck is this motherfucker Canelo not catching him? This motherfucker fighting the whole match with his hands down. He ain't want to catch him with a hook. He
did what Deontay did to Louis Ortiz. Yeah. He did what Deontay did to Louis Ortiz. All right, I'm gonna let you get off your shit for these 6-7 rounds. Then I'm gonna measure you at the right time. Throw this shit back.
That motherfucker said like this in the middle of the round. He knew it was over. Then he went back.
Hell yeah.
When he went back to the corner, he's talking to Spence. She's like, "It's over. He's not coming back."
Yeah, it's over. Yup. He said it's over.
He said that the announcer called it.
Yup. He said it was over. Yup.
He said when I punched him, I felt that shit break. I felt that shit through my glove. It was
his
done.
orbital bone. Yup.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Billy Joe is gonna come back from that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't think he's gonna box again after he did all that shit about the size of the ring.
Fact.
Dog, that ring was so big when they was fighting in that shit. I kind of liked it though. I kind of liked it, the bigger ring.
Yeah, that's how a lot of them especially a lot of rings in the UK are. Yeah, if you Klitschko's fights, those Klitschko fights, they would use the big rings a lot.
Yeah, they were 20 feet. The one they were fighting in was a 22-foot ring. That was the first boxing match ever in a 22-foot ring. That's why when I was watching that shit, I said, "Yo, I like this because
I like it. I like it too because you got more room, especially to showcase skill. Because it's not just about it's not just about the fist. You know what I mean? It's about the footwork. It's about the upper body movement, the middle body, everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love looking back at old school fucking boxing clips of Pernell Whitaker. You know what I mean? And shit, Willie Pep, the elusiveness. You know what I mean? Roy with the defense, like everything.
Yeah.
I love looking up
I
that
love
type of
watching
shit.
Roy fights. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Motherfuckers don't. I wish that motherfucker never started rapping. As soon as he started rapping, his
I know.
career
Oh
went on
man,
decline.
I say this about every fighter, and I'm starting to even see it in UFC with Francis Ngannou. He's starting to take movies and start doing cameos and this and that. I say, yup, you're going to lose soon because when you start fucking worrying about other things outside of fighting, it always is inevitable. You lose.
As soon as McGregor caught that big payday with Mayweather, it ain't never seen. To me, it ain't never seen like he took UFC serious after that.
Once he got that, it wasn't just that 100 million paycheck. Once they got that proper 12 up and running, you know what I mean? It was a wrap.
He got that payday from
Mayweather,
and then he sold that whiskey. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a businessman now. When you turn into a businessman, the whole game changed.
It's always I always say this in reference to the great late Marvin Hagler. This is a quote from him. It's kind of hard to get out of bed. I mean, it's kind of hard to get out of a bed for a fight when you're sleeping in silk pajamas.
Exactly. That's why, now that you say that, Billy Joe Saunders before the Canelo, he's always everywhere in his Versace robe and shit, threatening to call off.
I did see that.
Call off the fight.
Yep, I did see that shit.
He didn't even show up to the face-off.
Nope.
He didn't show up to the face-off because they didn't agree to the 22-foot ring yet. They had to do the face-off in a lobby and shit. He showed up in his Versace robe. Did all that for nothing. To get your face
all
broke.
That for nothing.
Had Tyson Fury.
One shot.
Had Tyson Fury out there, y'all mean egging him on. Talking all that
shit. Speaking of him, exactly. I want to talk about him and Wilder part 3. Now we were supposed to get this fight next week on the 24th. Yeah, we were supposed to get it next week. And then I remember sitting there posted it on the group page because I woke up and I get an ESPN report and it's like Fury I look, I'm like, it's a Fury test COVID positive.
No, the first one I got, it said somebody from Fury's camp fight in jeopardy. Then like 3 hours.
No, later, I didn't get that one.
Oh, I got that.
I did not get that one.
3 hours later,
I did not get that one. They just gave me the one that said he was COVID positive.
Yeah, I got that one like 3 hours later. I was like, get the fuck. I had to go. I was going on Twitter to make sure. I always go on Twitter to make sure that everything. I went on there. I said, oh, they really postponed the fight.
They're full of shit.
Yeah,
they're full of shit. Ain't nobody got sick with COVID.
Like I said,
nobody got sick with COVID.
People caught on. People, like I said, they got them YouTube investigators. They caught on to his gloves. They caught on to the way his face looked. They caught on to all that shit. And then now he's trying to find a way to dip and dodge, get more time. Because Wilder coming in there, when Wilder was at the press conference. When Wilder was at the press conference, he was a whole new person. He wasn't talking shit or not. He was just chilling.
Oh, focused. Yeah. Laser focus. Because my thing is this though too. Because Andre Ward was all like, "Oh, I didn't like Deontay's body, like his body posture. I didn't like the way that he had nothing to say. Like you made all these allegations before the fight. Why didn't you mention it? Why? Because he don't got to. There's 2 reasons why he don't have to. One, what type of shit is this man going to say in terms of talking shit? He can't talk shit. He got beat the fuck up last time.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
Did you see Wilder's face after that fight when they he wasn't punching him that hard to put that dent in his fucking head.
No. Now my thing is this with Wilder or whatever, like this. Oh, here we go with this bullshit again.
Yeah, he wasn't punching Wilder that hard to put that.
No, he wasn't punching him that. No, he wasn't punching him that hard.
them punches wasn't even. I don't know what the fuck. They were catching him with like the tip of the glove. Like I was watching that fight before they even came out with the little shit on YouTube and shit. I said, yo, something ain't right about this fight. Wasn't didn't somebody fight Cotto before they were somebody fought Trinidad. Who fought Trinidad? They were placing their gloves in
Margarito.
Ice.
Margarito.
Yeah, he was wetting his gloves.
It was Margarito. Margarito and Cotto.
Fight. Yeah.
Margarito and Cotto.
That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Give me 1 second.
All right.
Yo.
You good? You freezing up? Can you hear me? You good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
See, why can't I hear you now all of a sudden? I got this shit hooked up.
I can hear you.
Yep. I still can't hear with this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't hear with this right now. Oh, now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
All right. But yeah, like I was
now I got you. Now I got you.
With that Margarito and Cotto, that shit reminded me of that match.
Yeah, because that's exactly what it reminded me of as well. But as soon as I see the knuckles in the gloves, I'm like, that fucker took the paddings out. There's no way in my years of boxing that I've never seen a guy turn over for a punch and you see the actual knuckle imprints going through the glove.
Yeah, or
that tells you the padding was that the gauze wasn't wrapped right. That's what that tells you. He didn't have the right padding on. And on top of that, he took the padding out of the boxing gloves.
Yeah, I think it was more than that, though. I think they had something in them gloves.
It's possible. It's not impossible. Another thing, what I saw what one of them YouTube investigators did, and if you look at the floppy glove, you can see
his fingers.
Can see his fingers right there.
Yeah, the tip of his finger right there where your wrist's supposed to be.
Yeah, man. He definitely cheated.
I think something was in those gloves. And I think
he definitely cheated. Yeah, he knows it. He's the one who came out about it. And then this is another thing. Did you see the video where at the end of the fight, the post-fight presser, and Fury's all in his little, fucking suave ass suit, you know what I mean, and shit. And it was right before they start talking on the mic, and they're directing everybody to their seats. Deontay didn't show up for the post-fight presser, but Tyson did. So Tyson's getting ready to sit down, and one of Tyson's people goes to get him a water. He went over to Deontay's side to get him a water. When he came up to give that water to Tyson, you can see him asking where'd it come from. The boy pointed over to Wilder's campsite, and he said, I don't want it.
Yeah, I didn't even peep that. That's crazy.
And mind you, Wilder said he felt that his water was tampered with.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even peep that.
Yeah, I'll send you the link to that video.
Yeah, you gotta send me that.
I'll send you the link, bro. I saw a whole bunch of this shit, and I'm just like, yo, this motherfucker's dirty, and it's just not even with Deontay. There's evidence of him being dirty with previous fighters before. Even a sparring partner of his came out and exposed him on that shit.
I see that shit too.
Yeah.
So That's the only thing. I feel like a lot of people, like I feel like there would have been other people in his camp that don't work with him no more. A lot of people would have came out and said something, but it wasn't really nobody from his camp that came out and said anything. So I really
Nah,
think
man, they ain't gonna say nothing.
I think Water gonna be on point this time. He's gonna pay attention to everything. I just hope that don't take away from him being focused on the boxing. But I think he's coming in there on a
Yes.
mission. I think he's coming in there on a mission because he really wanted that Anthony fight. He really wanted that Joshua fight, and he know this is the only way to get it because Fury and Joshua already had that shit in paper and everything. Nah, they
Yep.
took that shit. Nah, they said, nah, y'all
Yeah.
not doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he tried to play him. They try to play him. They try to play Deontay. Dyson knew damn well he was contractually obligated to give Deontay this third fight. It was in the contract.
Yeah.
He didn't want to fight him again, especially once these allegations came out.
Yeah.
I mean, because he don't want nobody finding out the truth. Well, bro, the truth is in the pudding, but the problem is that this is the problem in boxing. They allow too much of this shady type of shit to happen if you are box office, you can get away with this shit. The reason why guys like Louis Resto and Antonio Margarito why they were fed to the wolves and was like, okay, yeah, they were dirty, so ban them and shit, because they wasn't like no Floyd Mayweathers or nothing.
Yeah, they was
Yeah.
Yeah, they wasn't bringing in no money. They was basically the fighter.
Exactly. If anything, Margarito was the money spoiler because remember he spoiled Cotto and Mayweather at welterweight money.
Yeah, exactly.
He spoiled that. That was the fight for so long at welterweight after De La Hoya and Mayweather, before Pacquiao came in the picture. That was the fight everybody wanted to see, was Miguel Cotto and Mayweather. And Margarito crushed those dreams with those hand wraps.
Yeah.
And then it's funny, I will never forget the second fight between them two with Cotto and Margarito. And they did the face-off with Max Kellerman on HBO. And Kellerman brought it up to Margarito, and he said, "Oh, I don't know, this and that. I didn't know this and this and that." And he said, "Well, Antonio," if you didn't know in the Shane Mosley fight that your gloves were tampered, how could you know that your gloves were tampered in Miguel's fight?" And stuff, and he's just like, "Yeah, hell yeah, he knew." And he said, "Oh, I don't have to answer to this." He said, "Miguel just needs to accept his loss, man. This and this and this and that." So Miguel was like, "Can I show y'all something?" So he started bringing up evidence, and he's like, 8 years of boxing. He said, gauze doesn't rip. He said, the gauze doesn't rip. You know what I mean? He says, not, you know what I mean? It doesn't rip. That's gauze. It doesn't rip. So he showed him this shit, and there's a tear, and there's like a big-ass red block right where that tear is. And Margarito's like, "Oh, that's from the color of the glove." He's like, "No." He's like, "That tear. What is that tear in the glove? Gauze don't tear." And and Margarito got mad and defensive.
That's what
he did, what I mean? Right? So like,
he got them bitches wet and put them in the freezer, right? That's what he did.
Yeah, that's what plaster of Paris.
Yeah,
plaster of Paris. Hell yeah, blocks.
Yeah, I got Wilder. I got Wilder for the Fury fight.
I got Wilder knocking him out. I think Wilder's gonna cook.
I think 8 or 9. I'll go 8 or 9.
I'll go 10. I'll go 10. Yeah. I feel comfortable with 10. But I honestly think that he's going to redeem himself. I just felt that energy from watching that press conference. Like, all right, I'm done fucking with you, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna say nothing. You can say and cut whatever promo, how you're gonna run me over like a tractor trailer, and I'm gonna let you have this. Come when we fight.
Even speaking on that, when Fury went down, I feel like they fucked up the 10 count.
It did. That was a knockout in the first fight.
Yeah, the ref stopped counting.
It was a 4-second delay. That was a knockout in the first fight. That's what I call the Buster Douglas syndrome.
Yeah,
because the same thing happened to Mike Tyson with Buster Douglas.
Everybody was like, "Yo, what the fuck? That was 10. Like, how the fuck this fight still going on? That motherfucker was down and out."
My thing is this: when I seen that shot land, I jumped up and I said, "It's over. That bitch is bent. He's out." I was like, "Yeah, he's done." I said, "He is not getting up."
Yeah, I
I was,
remember.
celebrating.
I still remember that day. You posted that shit on Facebook. You was like, "Yo, this some fucking bullshit."
Yo, straight up. Like, yo, I never forget that because, like I said, I remember it like it was yesterday with that shot. He threw that on that left. That's what that was the shot. Everybody gives credit for the right. No, he knocked
Damn.
the bitch out of me with that left. He said, "Wow."
He was
Back
laid out. No, he was laid out on the
out.
mat. Motherfucker, his arms is wild, like wild
Now my
cross.
question. Now, my question for that referee would have been, now, any other time when you see fighters stretch the fuck out like that, you wave the fight.
Yeah, exactly. Because
why wasn't the fight waved?
Even when they get hit, it's like when he got up, he didn't even check to ask him to see if he was okay. You know, they get up, they be like, "Can you like when Yigit went down yesterday?" He was like,
Yeah.
Yigit still wanted to fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I kind of like Yigit because he came in.
I like Yigit a little bit too.
He came in with 2 weeks notice, and then when he got down, every time he got up, he said, "I'm good, I'm ready to go." Even when
he earned a fan in me with just his nickname alone.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That can you dig it?
Just that nickname alone, I say, "Yup." I said, "I'm gonna start following this guy. I don't care if he's a gatekeeper or not." Yeah, he got a fan in me. Like that was funny as shit. That was good.
When they had him in the corner after the fight, he's like, "Yo, I can still fight. I can still go."
He was too. Like, I don't think he was completely. I even said that in my head. I said, I don't think he was that done. You know what I mean? I don't think he was done to where you should stop the fight. But at the same time, I wanted to see that fight over just because of the bullshit that Bull was pulling.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, as far because he was a substitution fight, he had 2 weeks notice for that fight. For him being a substitution, fighter and having 2 weeks notice, he did pretty good.
He did do pretty good. He did. Like I said, the first 3 rounds, he was boxing him up, and like I said, that overhand left was finding his mark. If he could he just needs to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah. If he could clean it up,
that's all that kid needs to do. Clean it up a little bit, he'll be all right. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got Wilder redeeming himself, man. I really do. You know what I mean? I feel like, and I watched somebody, I think it was on Dante's Boxing Nation. I don't know if you subscribe to that on YouTube. He's like a big boxing head. Check him out, bro. Like he's got a big fan base. He's real good. He goes to the fights and all that shit.
All right.
He keeps it a buck. But on Dante's Boxing Nation, he was pointing it out like, yo, they had it all wrong about Deontay's body posture. He was like, it's funny. He said, it's funny how they said just a few days ago, Andre Ward and them were clowning Deontay's body posture and this and that. But yet, look who's the one who postpones the fight. Yeah, you know what I mean? He was like, who's the one who pulls out the fight? He was like, then on top of that, you know what I mean? The cheating and all that shit. Like, he has a whole bunch of videos of that shit out there too. Like, because he's a big Wilder fan and shit too, but he's like not biased. Like, he's not biased. That's why I like him too. Like, he's not a biased critic. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just feel like, and he said this, Malik Scott should help big time with DeAndre Wilder, because the difference between Mark Breland and Malik Scott is Mark Breland's more of an old school throwback fighter. You know what I mean? Malik Scott, he's been in the ring with both Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, and he's a big athletic guy. Yeah, so that's what DeAndre needs focus on, because that's the thing. Tyson's bigger than him, so he needs to be able to find ways to use his athleticism to be able to set traps for Wilder. I mean, for Fury.
Yeah. And as far as athleticism,
to be able to land those bombs,
you can see the difference in their body weight, their body posture, their style of boxing. Like, Wilder shouldn't have been hurt like that fucking last fight.
No.
Yeah, you can.
And my thing is, it's weird because I said this in my head, just thinking about like really how do I envision Deontay Wilder looking performance wise when he comes back. And I don't know why I have this feeling, and I could be wrong, but I have a feeling he's going to come back with a Lennox Lewis type of style.
Yeah. I think so
You know
too.
what I mean? Like,
You know what's crazy?
people forget about Lennox Lewis was the same type of fighter that Deontay was a jab straight right until he got knocked out by Oliver McCall. And when he got knocked out by Oliver McCall, he went back to the drawing board. And then on top of that, got himself a better trainer, a more renowned trainer, and then start learning new tricks. You know what I mean? Start throwing more body shots, uppercuts, setting traps, and stuff like that.
I follow Wilder on Instagram, and they showed him sparring, and you can see like he's a whole different fighter. And he's gonna come in there with a whole new game, and I can't wait to see that shit.
I can't wait neither. Especially, because I ain't even gonna lie, bro. You know what I mean? And I want you to come on with me. You know what I mean? Because he put this motherfucker bed. I want us to be there to talk all this shit to all these motherfuckers that was clowning our boy for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
For real. I want that. You know what I mean? I want that because we as Wilder fans deserve that because they've been fucking crushing him, man.
I'm having a fight party for the Pacquiao Spence fight. You gotta slide through.
That's August 24th.
Yeah.
Okay. Because see, the thing is, all right, because the thing is, because to keep it a bean, what I'm doing, and I'm gonna basically put it on Facebook and everything else here in the coming days, I'm switching my work schedule from 5 days to 2 days. I'm only gonna be working weekends.
Yeah.
So, but basically, we still gotta find somebody to cover the days that like I'm leaving behind. So basically, when we do get somebody to cover to start working and taking those days or whatever, on days like the 24th, I can sit there and be like, yo, homie, you know what I mean? Like, yo, can we switch these days? I'll come in on a Thursday or Tuesday, you know what I mean? Because I definitely want to be off. But see, because the thing is, I'm about to say, the fight, usually the main events don't even start till like 12 o'clock.
Yeah, especially pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, I'll be over. I'll be over either way. Even if I gotta work, I'll be over because I get out by 10:30.
Yeah, you can make it in time. I'm still right here where y'all used to live.
You based on Lincoln?
Yeah, right on Mason.
Oh, word, say less.
Yeah,
you right down the street from Mariah.
Yeah, I'm right there. So y'all mean
word, say less. Word, yes, we're gonna have to do this. Yes, and I'm about to say. By then, I'm gonna try to get me a little portable camera too, so we can take this shit live. Yeah, you know what I mean? Do live commentary, all that.
Tripod and all that. I got two.
I know that's right. Yeah, I know that's right, bro. Dead serious. Yeah, we definitely because that's the whole purpose of me getting my work schedule switched is because I want to be able to do this 5 days a week. I want to be able to start getting my stuff done. I got merch that I got created. That I got a whole new merch store. I got to take the old one off my YouTube. I got a whole new merch store that I created. I got merchandise to get out there and stuff. Like, I'm going to start having subscriber contests, all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, trying to grow this shit up there. You know what I mean?
So,
as
far as upcoming fights, what's some fights you would like to see that's not scheduled yet? I want to see Garcia. I want to see Garcia and Davis. Even though I feel like Garcia don't got the footwork for him. Them two are both power hitters. So I feel like Garcia got a lot of time to work on his footwork because
that's the fight I want to see too because of the bad blood.
You watched what was his last Campbell Garcia?
Yeah, Luke Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell put Garcia down in the second round.
Put him on his ass.
That shit was crazy.
But, I said this, and as soon as he went down, I said, "Yup." Now, if that was Tank, this bitch would be sleeping.
It would have been over. Yeah, it would have been over. Hell
you know what I mean? That boy's not ready.
That motherfucker definitely came up and ended that shit with the body shot. Like me as a boxing fan, I don't know why, but I like knockouts. I like the body shot knockouts better than the
I love the body shot knockouts too.
But yeah, I love them joints.
Because it's more unexpected. It's more unexpected and it's more sudden.
Yeah, because you could tell
it's more unexpected and it's more sudden. That you know, I love a left hook to the liver.
Yeah. Yo, did you hear the announcer?
That shit is
when he was talking about the Videz and Aline fight. He said, "Oh, he made his liver quiver."
Yup. Hell yeah. Made his liver quiver. Oh, I love it. I love it when they come out with them little punch lines and shit with something. That's one thing that I feared once HBO stopped doing the unboxing because I always loved the HBO boxing team. Even when Jim Lampley would go over exaggerating sometimes.
Did you watch
I loved it.
Did you watch the Logan Paul Mayweather fight? You watched that joint? Did you they need I like the Jesus and Miro on the commentator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's good.
They need to start updating apps where you can pick your commentators and put motherfuckers like
they
them
should.
Because even when Snoop Dogg was commentating for the Tyson fight, he said, "Oh, they're like two uncles at the cookout." He said,
Yo,
like
speaking of, all right. So another upcoming fight. I mean, we're gonna kind of veer. I mean, it's boxing, so yeah. I want to see. I ain't even gonna lie. I want to see Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul.
yeah, I want to see that.
I want to see this. I want to see this.
But
I gotta see this.
I'm just not paying for it.
I'm not paying for it neither. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that on one of those websites.
Free websites. Yeah. One of those free websites. Hell yeah. That's not work. That's not, to me, it's, as a real boxing fan, like a big boxing fan, I can't pay for something like that.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't even pay for the Mayweather one. I'm like, nah, I'm not paying for that.
That Logan Paul Mayweather, I was watching that shit at work on VIP box.
Yeah.
I was on that bitch watching that shit.
You got World Cup football. I mean, there's a few of them.
Yeah.
You got Ripple.
Well, that was on a Sunday, right? That Mayweather fight. Yeah, because I know I was working that night, and
which was weird.
Yeah,
it was so weird watching that on a Sunday.
I kind of liked it though. I kind of liked it because they shit on TV that late.
That is true.
So I feel
that is true.
You know, on Saturday, there's a lot of people that got shit to do that just want to get out their house, go out. On a Sunday fair, I'll sit back and watch stupid shit like that all day.
Hell yeah, man.
But
Hell
yeah. That Jake Paul.
What else?
You know what's crazy about the Jake Paul and Woodley fight is I don't know. What? I really don't know how it's going to go. You pay attention to the Serrano sisters?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
She's training Jake Paul. Amanda Serrano.
Serrano?
Yeah.
She's good. She is good.
Yeah.
She's real good.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like that's cool. She's training him, but my thing from what I've seen, he's only got a jab and a straight right. I haven't seen nothing unless he's going to pull some more weapons out the toolbox this time around.
See,
I'll feel it this way. I want to see how he reacts when he gets hit by Tyron.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask because I don't really watch UFC. How is Woodley boxing? Because I know UFC, you kick, you box, you wrestle. How is he boxing in the octagon?
I'll put it this way. In terms of like straight up boxing, because he usually sets up his punches to go for a takedown.
Is he a puncher? Is he a kicker or a takedown?
He's a puncher.
Oh,
he's a puncher. And that right hand, that right hand will stretch a motherfucker, bro.
Yo,
that's serious. That right hand is serious.
That say he better than Canelo.
And he really wants to fight Canelo. He said this, that he's willing, he's wanting to in the next 2-3 years. He said basically after fighting Woodley, if he beats Woodley, well, he said when he beats Woodley in his words.
Canelo's
he said he said he's going to start fighting boxers, actual boxers, and he said if he can keep this streak going and be able to put himself into position to where he can fight Canelo, he wants that fight. And the thing is this, Canelo may say he's a joke, but money is there, bro.
Yeah.
The money is there. And at the end of the day, we know this, money rules all. It rules all.
If it was like that, Canelo wouldn't be taking these fights for these titles. He wouldn't have took that Saunders fight, that Yildirim, the Caleb Plant. He know he can catch more money fighting somebody else. Canelo's a true fighter. That's why I like him. That's my favorite boxer.
Yeah, but I also think if this gets out of hand to where this guy just keeps winning fights, Canelo will feel, this is me, I feel like Canelo will feel obligated to be like, nah, you know what, I got to stop this. Who all
did Jake Paul fight? I know he knocked out Nate Robinson. He knocked out Nate Robinson. Who else did he fight?
Nobody's, bro.
No, but who did he
fight? He fought fucking YouTuber Aiden Kensen or some shit like that. He beat Nate Robinson and he knocked that dude out. He knocked Nate Robinson out and Ben Askren.
Oh yeah, the
And
Aspen.
Ben,
Yo, and that shit looked like it was
yeah,
a payoff. That bitch went down and just laid
I
there
think
like,
it
"Fuck it,
was.
this is my payday." Yeah, I forgot
I
about
think
that.
it
That was the other
was.
UFC dude. But like, if he would have
Yeah.
fought, that's what I'm saying though. He ain't fighting no boxers. Like, I feel like somebody like, can you dig it, yig it? They would have knocked Jake Paul the fuck out.
Can you dig it? You know what? I'm gonna go on Twitter and I'm gonna fucking tweet him. I'm gonna tell him, bro, you should if Jake Paul somehow manages to scrape by with his
Yeah,
life
you should.
against Tyron
Yeah,
Woodley, you should fight him.
hell
You
yeah,
should fight him. You know what I mean?
hell
Fight
yeah.
him. Please get this over because I believe any real boxer
Is
would
knocking
scrape
him the
the
fuck
fucking
out.
floor with him.
Yeah,
And what
hell
I
yeah.
don't understand, and then you got guys like real boxers like Zab Judah and stuff going to bat for him. Like, nah, he could really fight. And I'm just like, Zab, stop it.
Yeah, couple weeks ago, Royce the 5'9" went on a rant on fucking Twitter. He was like, Jake Paul could really fight. I was like, yeah, he could really fight, but we talking about can he really box? Like, I feel like if he could fight any boxer that's like, you know what I mean, not in the amateurs, but not even championship level, somebody that fights basically on PBC on the weekdays.
Yeah.
They knocking Jake Paul the fuck out.
Yes, exactly. Even a club boxer, a club fighter is putting him out. Like, I'm sorry. This is why I don't think he's gonna get by Woodley, because I think Woodley hits hard enough and he's a live he has better striking skills than Ben Askren.
Yeah, Ashton was
And
old.
and
When
why
he
it's
came in there,
interesting me
Ashton
and
came
why
in
it's
there looking like he
interesting
drunk a
me
6-pack last night.
my boy had that he had the ultimate dad bod.
Yeah,
The
Willie's in
ultimate dad
condition. That
bod.
motherfucker, when he was at the press conference, I was like, damn, this bitch big as shit. He gonna fuck Jake Paul up.
See, and that's the thing though, is that Askren, he only trained boxing for 3 months to do that fight.
Yeah.
And if you watch from the first time he did it, it was literally like he was like that.
Yeah, that shit looked dumb as hell.
Leading up to the fight, this bitch was pat, 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 like putting punches together. And I'm like, okay. I feel like if he would have took it seriously and gave himself more time to train, he even would have knocked him out. Yeah. But he didn't. He just took the payday.
Yeah, he definitely took that payday.
He took that payday. But what interests me about Woodley, why I feel like Jake is going to get his ass beat, is because Woodley's talking about he wants to transition into boxing from MMA. Why I find that interesting is because he is 39 years old. He does have a lot of wear and tear because, you got beat the fuck up a lot with getting kicked in the legs and, wrestled. So I don't know how deep that's going to go, but if he's taking it that seriously, I feel like that spells danger for that boy.
But yeah, if he does transition to boxing, I don't see him being a pay-per-view fighter. He'd be like one of those days, like I said, one of those weekday PBC fighters.
Well, you never know. I mean, Showtime did give Jake Paul a deal.
Yeah, that's crazy. When I seen that, I was like, "Yo, Showtime! This is a Showtime pay-per-view."
They are, but you gotta give Showtime credit. They see money. They own it. They see something. They own that money. Now, as far as real boxing, I mean, like real boxing fighters, I wouldn't mind seeing. I'm really actually excited to see Joshua and Usyk.
Oh yeah,
you ever see Usyk fight?
I'm not sure. I think so. The name sounds familiar, but I'm not. If I do, I don't really remember the fight.
You know what that smells like, Sweet Pea? That smells like an upset. I'm telling you, bro. Usyk's a bad man, bro. He's a bad man. He's skilled, bro. The boy is skilled.
Yeah, because of that last fight with Joshua and Diaz, that Joshua didn't even really look too good in that match.
No, man.
I feel like that one could have been
Ruiz.
I feel like that one could have really been a draw.
That's another fight I would even like to see again. If not this year, maybe next year, is Ruiz and Joshua 3.
Yeah.
Especially with Ruiz now with with having Canelo's trainers.
Yeah, and that's another thing about Fury too. You see how Ruiz got in shape real quick. His whole body changed and everything. This boy Fury, this motherfucker look like he don't do shit but eat TV dinners and watch talk shows all day.
Well, I will say this. I think another reason why he postponed this fight is to get his weight back up. Because if you look, he's probably about 240, 250 right now. He's actually thin compared to what he usually is. In the last fight he came in against Wilder, he weighed, 273?
Yeah.
So I feel like he probably, especially how Wilder fucking looked at him, like, I'm going to kill you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He probably said, you know what? We got to make up something to get this fight postponed. I got to eat my Wheaties a little bit. I got to get some of this weight back up. Because that's the one thing he did say. He said he trains every day, and I believe that because, the mental health issues he's went through and shit. So if you're training, and this is not even that. So if you've been training every day for months and months and months, you're overtrained.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You're overtrained.
I think that's kind of what happened with Diaz. He was so focused on getting his body right and getting it back together that. But I can't even say that because it wasn't a bad fight when he fought Joshua. It was still a good fight. Like, they were really going at it.
You mean Ruiz?
Yeah, I mean Ruiz. Yeah, Ruiz and
Ruiz.
Joshua. Because I felt like that was a good fight. I felt like he really put in work. I feel like that could have been a draw. If they would have called that a draw, I wouldn't have been mad. But I can't be mad at the Joshua win either. Like,
what, the second fight? Yeah, the second fight.
Yeah, the second fight.
Yeah, because all Joshua was literally doing was basically keeping distance.
Yeah.
That's really all he did.
Once
it's
he
just Ruiz just didn't come in shape.
Yeah, Joshua came in. He got his points up for each round, and then he just tried to keep his distance to make sure he was still up as in scorecard wise.
Ruiz did what Roberto Duran did after fighting Sugar Ray the first time. He's fucking eating like a motherfucker and celebrating. They said Duran was celebrating for like 2-3 fucking weeks straight. Eating whenever he wanted, going hard. And then fucking Sugar Ray heard that and was like, make the rematch now. Like, call it for 4 months down the road.
That Ruiz,
and it's like,
that was crazy. When he first caught that knockout, everybody like, oh shit, this fat ass Mexican knocked this diesel ass Olympic fighter out.
Bro, and I wish I would have had the money to put the bet down. Because I've been following Ruiz for years now.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was like, I want to say maybe his 8th pro fight. I watched him.
Was Ruiz mandatory for that fight? Or like, how did he get that fight?
No. Ruiz was a replacement.
That's what I thought.
Oh, who the fuck was he supposed to fight? Joshua, I want to say. Wow, no.
Wasn't Wilder because Wilder never missed. He ain't really missed no fight.
Miller.
Oh yeah,
Jermell Miller, and then he got popped for steroids.
Yeah.
So then Ruiz was a last-minute replacement. And I've been following Ruiz. I've been following Ruiz since he was like unknown, like since his like 7th, 8th pro fight. Yeah. I was fucking on TV, just flicking through the channels, and I happened to catch upon this fucking fight between Ruiz and some guy, and what stood out to me, I'm like, yo, this fucking Butterbean motherfucker got hands. Like, he's fast. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Some of these motherfuckers need to just keep their body tight because they so comfortable with that and the way they fight. You don't got to get big and diesel and all that. Like, when you comfortable with once you change your body fight, it's a whole different story. You don't move how you used to move. You don't know your body like you knew your body. I think that's why he caught that knockout against Joshua, because he was just comfortable with himself.
Hell yeah. And plus, that's one thing I said going into this fight, because see, people forget that he fought Joseph Parker, and that a lot of people felt like they should have gave him the decision in that fight. Yeah. So if you think about it, if he beats Joseph Parker, not only does he have a belt, well, then he's probably going on to face Joshua even sooner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then it's just like, but like I said, what stood out to me is, like I said, I'm like, yo, this fucking hefty fucking dude looks like a Spanish or fucking Mexican butterbean. Got fucking fast hands. That's why I like him. I'm like, yo, the fluidity. I'm like, I'm going to keep an eye on this guy for a little bit. And I just start following him. And then once I seen he was getting a shot against Joshua, I remember calling up my cousin on Bird up, and I'm like, yo, cuz,
Yep.
I don't know about you. I said, I think we're going to see one of the biggest upsets in history tonight. And he was like, cuz, I don't know why. I feel it too.
They started showing his tweets before that fight, and it showed like the same day from when he tweeted something about him eating Taco Bell and watching wrestling.
Yeah.
And then Joshua was in the gym working out, and that motherfucker came in and beat him.
Hell yeah. Yo, what's even crazier is that some dude posted it and he like retweeted it on Twitter and then posted on Facebook. I forget the dude's name, but he's a gambler or whatever and shit. This dude put, I want to say, 5,000 on Ruiz.
Yeah.
And the payout for that certain or whatever for whatever he put in was like 100 grand or whatever.
Yeah, I about to say, I know that shit had to be like plus 100 grand.
Yo, bro, he posted that shit. He said it. I'm calling Ruiz by upset tonight. Y'all don't know about this bull like I know about this bull. He gonna knock Joshua out. He said, I'm telling you, watch. He said, everybody think that Joshua gonna run through him. I got 5 bands that Ruiz ends this in under 7 rounds or less. What happened? He got him out of there in 7 rounds. That motherfucker won like 100-something bands.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little bathroom break real quick, and then when I get back to you, we're gonna talk about what match you want to see coming up.
All right, word, brother.
All
right. If you're watching this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. As well as if you choose to, you can make a donation channel as well. There goes the donate tag right here. Hashtag MJW620. If you want to donate to the channel, as I just announced basically a few minutes ago, I will be taking this channel to 5 days a week, starting at the beginning of August. You know what I mean? So I'll have more time to get more content, obviously, as well as I'm building my merch store up. So being showcased here shortly. So if you don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and as well as if you want to donate, there goes the donate button right there. Hashtag MJW62089. Support is greatly appreciated. Donations will go towards better camera work, better artwork, etc., etc.
I'm pretty. All right, we back.
All right.
Good. You hear me?
can hear you, bro.
All right. Yeah. So what's the fight?
Hold on. Mariah shit for this shit because she said this whole fucking modem was supposed to make things better, and I'm having worse problems with this modem than I did my old one. We gotta talk about this. Like shit. Like damn. Like man, this is giving me some issues right now.
So
But yeah, bro. I mean,
what's the fight you want to see, and what's an upcoming fighter that people's not paying really attention to that you want to get out there?
I want to say an upcoming fighter for me that nobody's really paying attention to. I mean, like I said, he's really not. He's really not even an upcoming fighter. He's a belt, but like I said, Andre. I feel like that guy. A lot of people underestimate that skill, man.
Who?
Yeah, he's not as popular, and I would love. I mean, obviously, he's got his style kind of is a little bit boring, but I respect the skill. You know what I mean? Like I respect the boxing skill and the IQ. But another guy who's coming up on, I'll say in welterweight is what's his name? I say Ennis. I want to say it was James Ennis or something like that, or something Enos or whatever.
Yeah,
I forget his first
Ennis.
name. I'm gonna have to look it up. But
yeah, I know who you're talking
Ennis,
about.
yes, that boy, he's got game. He's got game. I like him.
You know who I like?
I like him.
I can't really remember his name either. It's like Trevor Porter or Portis or something. He's from Philly. He got like the lazy eye. He's calling out Davis a minute ago.
Nah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I like him.
I know who you're talking about. He's nice too.
Like his defense is crazy. I always wanted to see him and Davis. They was like really about to fight at a casino or something before they came face to face. But they were supposed to fight, and then Davis lost his title.
Who you talking about? Tevin Farmer?
Yeah, Tevin Farmer. Yeah.
Tevin Farmer. Tevin Farmer.
Yeah. I like Tevin Farmer.
Tevin Farmer. He just lost. He just lost recently. He did just lose recently. Yeah, he lost to JoJo Diaz.
Yeah, I see that joy. I still like
he lost it. Yeah,
I like his defense.
Oh yeah, his defense. Fucking crazy. I feel like he had an off night. That night. Yeah. I feel like he had an off night, but his defense is usually pretty much up to par. The only knack with him, he don't have knockout power.
Yeah. He got.
He's like the modern day sweepy. He's like the modern day sweepy. He can throw in combination. He can elude a lot of punches, but he just don't have knockout power.
Yeah, I feel like he's the boy that just fought Davis. That what's the name? Barrios.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like him. He could come in, but he just gotta last them 12 rounds. Like he gotta win by decision. But I like him though. I like it. I like his fighting style.
Like Barrios, I feel like Barrios has power. He just has that type of wear you down power. Like his knockouts are going to come by accumulation of punches.
He almost caught Davis that one punch to the chin against the ropes. He almost caught him.
He did.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That's what I was like. Yo, Davis don't get this knockout. This motherfucker might win. That motherfucker definitely.
See, and that's where I'm interested to see how Davis does against somebody who can match him with strength and with power.
Yeah,
that's where I'm interested to see how well he does with that.
That's what I said. That's why I want to see him and Garcia. But Garcia, if he don't get his footwork up, that motherfucker going down. Like you said, that the way Campbell called him, if Davis catch him with that, it's over. You gotta get back up after that. Yeah, because
it's over.
You said you don't like Ryan Garcia, right?
Not too much. I put this way. I like his skill. I think he's skilled. I think he has potential. Yeah. But I think he's biting off more. I think he boasts himself more than what he is right now.
He's too much.
He's
talk.
a little too
like how you said
too much talk.
Yeah, he's too much.
Yes.
You talk that much, you expect more, and it's like.
But the one thing I give him over the Charlos is that Luke Campbell is a top fighter.
Yeah,
he is. He is a top fighter. So I give him that.
Yeah, he's a former champion and he's an Olympic fighter.
Yeah.
I give it to him. He got back up and caught that knockout too. Like a lot of people, once they catch that first knockdown, you don't expect the motherfucking knockout, especially to the body. But I was
Nah,
like, I don't know.
he definitely did show that he can rise up with some
I like his
adversity.
power. I like his power. But you know what? I don't like his showboating. Like just his whole interest to
Yeah,
the ring on that Campbell fight when it came out.
yeah.
Like I was rooting for him that fight, but when he came out like that, I was like, oh, this bitch. I hope he gets knocked the fuck out. You got niggas carry you to the ring like you a
but
kid.
you know who he reminds me of? Just without, you know, he reminds me of, except Oscar had better footwork that young. He reminds me of Oscar.
Yeah.
Of a young Oscar. He does.
If he would get his footwork up and stop paying attention to TikTok,
if he get his footwork up,
I think he'd be a greater fighter. And he got to get his chin up too, because when he went down that fight, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Luke Campbell's not that hard of a puncher neither. And that's why I said, Davis clock would have got fucking clean. He wouldn't have got up. He wouldn't have got up from that.
Nah, it was a wrap. Did you watch that fight?
Yo, like, I want to talk about. Yes.
Did you watch that Luke Campbell? Yeah, that was that was one that came on at like 5 in the afternoon or something. The sun was still up.
Yep.
Yeah, because when I was watching that, I was like,
now I will say this. No, now that I'm thinking about it, now that we're talking about these lightweights and stuff, I think the reason why Teofimo pulled out of the Carambosos fight is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, his dad came out and said that they are now focusing on a second fight with Lomachenko because of how Lomachenko looked his last fight.
Yeah. I like Loma.
So, I mean, I like Loma too. I like Loma too. And I think that I think Loma beats him a second time.
I think so too.
I think he comes back and beats him the second time.
I think Loma got.
I'm not too big on Teofimo. He's good. He's solid.
Yeah,
he's solid.
Yeah,
but you know, he reminds me. You know who he reminds me of? Danny Garcia.
Yeah. Well, you don't like Danny Garcia? I like Danny Garcia too.
I like Danny. But the thing about Danny that I said will always catch up to him. No footwork. Too flat-footed. He's too flat-footed.
I don't know.
He's too flat-footed.
I don't know. I gotta watch a couple of his matches again, because a lot of people I watch. Me, I'm a big Canelo fan, so I watch Canelo. I watch at least one Canelo match over every week. I just got done last night after the fight. When the fight was over, I came home and watched him versus Mir Khan. So yeah.
Oh my God. You know what's crazy about that fight is Amir was winning that fight on points before that. Like, he was doing good. He was doing what he was supposed to do. But I said it. I said, man, he gets caught the right way, it's over. Canelo came over that top with that right hand. It was lights out. The way his body turned, I was like, oh.
The announcers was talking to Canelo and everything while this motherfucker was still on the ground.
Hell yeah, man.
Canelo went over there. Canelo went over.
That was how it was with Pacquiao Marquez.
Yeah. We was just talking about that. We were just talking about that last night because me and my stepdad, he's a Pacquiao fan. We was talking about the old fights. I was like, yo, the reason I like Pacquiao because Marquez is a good fighter, and that motherfuckers. That's what made me a Pacquiao fan, was the Marquez Pacquiao fights. That's when I really started watching Pacquiao.
Those were wars. Yeah, because they knew each other so well.
Yeah, and then
they were the perfect. They were perfect foes.
Exactly. When you had perfect foes. When you had Pacquiao Marquez, you had people usually you had fighters that's black or Mexican. Them motherfuckers was from like Philippines or something. I got it. It's okay. It's okay. You okay? All right. But yeah, with Pacquiao and Marquez, that's what made me the Pacquiao fan. Because like I was telling motherfucker, I said, yo, I was kind of sleeping on Pacquiao when I was thinking about him and Spence. But then I started thinking about it last night. I was like, oh, I'm crazy. You can't sleep on Pacquiao.
I want Spence to win so bad, but I don't know why. I just got a bad feeling. This is not going to turn out too good. I don't know why. I go back and I watch certain Spence fights and I start pointing out certain instances. I'm like, this is where he'll get fucked up by Pacquiao because of the flat-footedness. And I go back specifically to that Sean Porter fight because I'm like, if this guy can just bully his way in, just muscle his way in, imagine what Pacquiao with the skill and the IQ, especially with how Freddie Roach instilled that in and out game. You know what I mean? Get in and get out. That footwork could spell problems for Spence. I'm interested to see, but it's also going to be interesting to see because when have we seen Manny fight a southpaw? I can't recall a time when I've seen Manny fight a southpaw. So, and even the same goes for Spence.
To me, those are always the most interesting fights is when somebody unorthodox fights a southpaw. Because I felt like that's why Billy Joe Saunders, when he's fighting Canelo, Billy Joe was fighting southpaw. He was catching that motherfucker. I'm like, yo,
and that's why I think that's why I think Andre. That's why I think Andre will give Canelo problems, just not because from the skill and IQ, but it's also because he's a southpaw.
Yeah,
that awkwardness and stuff like that. Like, man, there's so many fights that we can pick from that we could want to see. You know what I mean? Like, like I said, boxing is just it's alive and well, and I love it, man, because you get the pick of the litter. You know what I mean? It's not like it was in the mid. It's not like it was in the mid 2000s when you knew it was just really Floyd and
after
nobody.
After Roy Jones was done, it was like you couldn't find nobody to watch for a minute. Now it's like there's so many good fighters that sometimes you even hear about a fighter you never seen their fight before. You just hear about who training them and you got to tune in too. So
that's a fact.
Yeah, so the trainers too, they put in a lot of work too to make these motherfuckers good fighters.
I will say this about Roy. One thing for me as a fan, I've always kind of what ifed about his career is what if he would have fought those London boys like Chris Eubanks, like Nigel Benn, the Steve Collins. Like, people forget back in the day, the fucking London boys was stacked.
Yeah.
Like, in the middleweight division, the London boys was stacked in the middleweight division. They had a lot of talent coming out of Britain and coming from Collins was from Ireland. So, like, overseas, they had a lot of talent. I really would have loved to see Roy fight Chris Eubanks or Nigel Benn. Especially Nigel Benn because of that pressure. Because Nigel was all pressure. Nigel was really good at putting on the pressure. But in terms of, like, I'll be honest, I want to see Canelo fight that boy. What do you think about that boy Caleb Plant at super middleweight? Where Canelo's at? I like him too.
Yeah, I watched a couple.
I like him.
I watched his last two fights. His last two fights, I don't feel like he's something to sleep. I feel like he's better than Yildirim and Billy Joe Saunders. I feel like those were two easy vicks. Like, when you was watching them coming in, you already knew Canelo was going to win. I feel like I'm a Canelo fan, so I feel like he's going to win the Caleb Plant match. But at the same time, I feel like Caleb Plant, he's more of a developed boxer.
Yes. And what sticks out to me with him is he's really good defensively. Yeah. He doesn't take that much punishment. Now, granted, obviously his level of opposition leaves much to be desired. But that's why I want to see him fight Canelo. And he wants that fight. You know what I mean? That's the fight I think Canelo should take next. I mean, and in all honesty, he has the last belt. So
yeah, he has to. They already reached their deal. They didn't set the deal. They didn't set the date yet.
The date.
Yeah,
good.
They already set the deal for the payment and all that other extra shit. They just haven't set the date yet because they had something going on with. They had something going on.
I heard
Caleb Plant fights for PBC, and Canelo's DAZN. Every time that somebody from those two promotion teams come together, they have to sit down with all the paperwork and
the big executives and all that shit. Table. Everybody's got to come to the table and work out the money. You know what I mean? The money aspects of it and who's going to get what, who's the A side, who's the B side. The promoters got to make sure they get their cut.
Yeah.
But good. I'm glad that they're fighting next. You know what I mean? Shit, I think that's one of the more interesting fights that we have in boxing.
He set it up that way, too. He's going to take easiest to hardest. So he went with Yildirim. He knew that was easy vet. He knew Billy Joe Saunders was next, and then Caleb Plant. You know what I mean? But Now that you say that, I think I'm gonna go back and watch some more Caleb Plant fights because I did like his last 2 fights.
Yeah, man, the boy's got skills.
Yeah,
he's got skills. He's got skills. He's honestly got damn near everything you want in a good polished boxer. He has good defense. He has sharp punches, and he has power.
Yeah, exactly.
And he has speed. He's not slow. He has speed. So you have everything that you could ask for in a good boxer. Yes, and he's young. Yeah. You know what I mean? But this next level shit with Canelo, I gotta give it to this guy. When he fought Floyd, I was really interested to see how he would take his game to the next level. Because I said there's only 2 ways he can go from here.
It's crazy. I didn't become a fan until that Floyd fight. When I seen that Floyd fight, I said, "Oh, this Mexican really the real deal." I said, "Yeah."
Even though he got outclassed by Floyd, it's you saw it that if he could polish his game up, he's going to be a real problem down in the future. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, I would have rather seen them 2 fight. I wish Floyd was in his prime now so they could fight now.
Yeah, me too. Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? To see how that would play out.
This would be a good ass fight if
hell yeah. Because he's definitely improved.
Yeah, he's
definitely improved, especially with his defense.
I feel like he gets better every fight. Yeah, even his defense. Sometimes he looks like Floyd. When I see him in the ring, he does. Yeah, sometimes
the shoulder roll and the movements.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like.
Well, he definitely took a page out of Floyd. What he learned from Floyd, even though he may not like Floyd, but he definitely learned that from that fight with Floyd.
Yeah, he definitely. That's what I said. That's what I like about it. When my stepdad, he hates Canelo, right? I said, listen, he might have lost.
Why?
I don't know. He just hates.
Just don't like him.
Yeah. He was a big Cotto fan. Then when Canelo beat Cotto and shit, I think he never liked him after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when he beat Floyd, I said, I just kept watching him. I just felt like he was getting better and better. He didn't take no L. I feel like he didn't take no L that match. He took it as a lesson. And that's what I like about. That's what I like in the boxing.
That was the only. Other than the L on his record, that was the real L that he took was a lesson. Yeah. Because that was a boxing lesson. Yeah. That was a boxing lesson. Floyd gave that boy a boxing lesson.
He seen what Floyd was doing, and then he took a page out of Floyd's book and started doing what Floyd was doing, but he still mixed it with his own training and became the fighter that he is now. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Because one thing about him, what I've always liked about him is the precision in the way he lands his punches.
Yeah,
that's what I like about Canelo: the precision in the way he lands his punches.
The way
when he lands, you hear the intent. You hear it, like when the body, especially when he hits to the body, you hear that. They
don't even gotta put it. You know how when they hit him in slow motion in the body, and you can see the waves, like you can see that shit in real time. You can see that shit go through their ribs. Like, damn, that shit hurt. Like that's what.
Yeah, reverberates through their ribs. Just like what GGG did that to Matthew Macklin. When he hit him with that left hook, when he had him against the ropes, you just seen that bullshit dead.
You seen his liver quiver.
Yup. Seen his liver quiver. Oh, man. Bro, you ever look up the did you ever see the one football commentator on YouTube who's like the cussing commentator?
Yeah.
Or whatever shit. Yo.
That's why I said they need to
that dude.
Yo, they need to let you choose
my favorite one.
Where you could choose your announcers and shit, so you could choose if you want to hear motherfucking professionals or somebody like he's Miro or something.
Yeah. They should let us. They should let us choose to pick that guy. My shit is when they showed the video of he was calling the Dolphins versus the Ravens. This one Flacco was still the Ravens quarterback. Yeah. And Kiko Alonso that's when he put Flacco out with that concussion or whatever. And that's all you hear is about the hit comes in and the dude's like, oh my goodness. Joe Flacco's bent in half and probably out of the game thanks to that piece of fucking shit. Kiko Alonso. I fucking lost it. I was like,
if they had announcers like that for the fight, that shit would make the fight so much better.
It would. It really, really would. It really would. They do because I always feel like announcers and stuff because, it's obviously on TV and I get it because kids might be watching and stuff. It's like they have to read from a monitor.
That's why I said they need to make an app where you could choose your announcers. You could listen to
Yeah, man. I'd rather somebody give it to me straight, raw, and uncut, and cuss. And it's fun. It's funnier. It makes it more interesting. Like, I don't want to. Hold on. What? You shared this? Either you or Brandon shared that post of Mike Breen saying about Kawhi. When I guess they fucking the fucking Clippers hit a shot or whatever. Paul George did something, and they put the camera on Kawhi, and fucking Mike Breen's like, Kawhi is ecstatic, and Kawhi's just like,
you're sitting there. Nah, that was real time. That was real. That was really happened during the game. That really happened during the game. You said Kawhi is ecstatic, and Kawhi's just sitting there like,
Yo. That's what I'm saying.
Look, that wasn't edited at all. That really happened during the game.
Wow. That's great. That's good shit right there.
Hell yeah.
See, that's where you can let it slide. You know what I mean? But they be just too robotic sometimes with their commentary, and it's just like, that's why I'm gonna lie. At first, I did not like Rollo Manalo, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And shit, I can never get his name right. You know what I mean? It's some the L's are tongues. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or Mauro Ronaldo, that's his name. At first, when I first heard him, I'm just like, fuck, man, his voice annoys me. Why are they got him commentating? I don't fuck with him. Like, get somebody else. You know what I mean? But now, like, when I really, like, watch Showtime and I hear his analysis and I'm like, man, he's fucking good. I like Ronaldo, whatever his name is. I keep fucking it up, but we're going to go with it. I fuck with him. He's really good. I give him that. You know what I mean? Because I know he was doing stuff for, like, WWE for a minute and shit like that, and then they let him go because JBL was bullying him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, yeah. But he's really good at boxing commentating. So, like, that's what I'm saying. People like that grow on you. When they're good at their job.
That's like
I can definitely listen to him commentate all day now.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's like with the NFL. A lot of people didn't know how Tony Romo was going to do. Now all they want to do is hear Tony Romo announce the shit because that motherfucker calls the plays. He calls the plays before they happen. Cowboys fans
before they happen.
Why couldn't he do this as a quarterback?
Right? Why couldn't he make the right decision at the right time?
Yeah, this motherfucker be
instead of throwing those interceptions
before they even snap. I'm like, oh shit.
Hell yeah.
It's hard for me because I'm an Eagles fan. I'm like, oh shit, I kind of like him as a commentator. But I still gotta hate him some type of way.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he's a Cowboy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're always gonna be hated. No, I don't care a damn how good players they got. And I can like you as a player. If you wear that jersey, I still hate you.
The top prediction right now on DraftKings is the Chiefs and Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah, because Prescott coming back this year.
Oh, well, yeah, like he's really took them to the promised land before, right? Like, come on.
He was doing good before he got injured. Like me, when he got injured, I was happy as hell.
He was, but the reason why that team will never be good is because of Gerald Wayne Jones. Simple and plain.
Yeah.
That team will never get out of its way because of Jerry Jones, unfortunately. They have the talent, the pieces is there.
That's good with
they
me.
Just
keep Jerry Jones there as long as possible.
Please, I don't want to hear them brag. Oh my God. Yo, my God. Hearing them brag, man, I might have to get off social media for months. Like, for real. I will never want to hear them brag again.
Before we get out of here, who you got, Bucks, Suns?
I want Chris Paul to get that ring, but I think Bucks now they're.
I don't see the Bucks losing in a row.
I don't think it's going to even go 7. I think the Bucks have them where they want them, and it's going to end in Milwaukee.
Game 7 will be in Milwaukee, right?
No, it's going back. Shouldn't it be going back to Milwaukee? It should be going back to Milwaukee Game 6 because this past game was in Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'll just say Game 7 because I don't see them losing 3 in a row. Even if they lose these next 2, they're gonna win the third one.
I hope the Suns win. I definitely don't want Giannis to win it because I didn't want them coming out the East. I want my team to be there, but my guy's afraid to shoot. So
I like Giannis. I want to see the Bucks get it.
I don't like him. I never liked him. I never liked him. I don't like him.
Okay.
I'll put it this way. I'm not gonna say I don't like him. I don't like his game. I respect his game. You know what I mean? But at the same time, what I don't respect is like when you say shit like, again, falsify facts against players like James Harden and sit there and say that, like, when with the whole All-Star game shit, the reason why I chose him is because he can pass the ball. Well, James Harden was leading the league in assists that year. What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, just certain little shots he takes at players, and it's like, okay, if you're going to take a shot, at least let it be a fact. You sitting there saying something, and it's like,
listen, he's not American, so the way they take shots in France or wherever he's from, over in France, it's not taking shots. He thought he was saying something productive.
Yeah, you might have a point with that. You might, but I don't know. I just feel like with his game, I agree with Harden when he says he's just a Euro stepping dart.
A lot of people said they want to see Paul win because he's one of the last old heads in the game. But me, I wanted to see George get a ring because I feel like he's the last old head. But now since Paul George and Clippers is out, I want to see Giannis take it, the new young boy.
I'll say the reason why I want to see Chris Paul win the championship is because he, one, deserves it, and two, they robbed him of it while not letting him go to the Lakers in the first place.
Yeah.
That was crazy. It's long overdue. Yeah, isn't it crazy how the league did everything they could to stop Paul and Kobe from being together?
Man, they never did that to anybody besides anybody. I never heard of them doing that to nobody except for Chris Paul going with Kobe. If you doing with Kobe, Kobe would have had another ring. Chris Paul would have been with him.
This is what happens though when you're the head of the Players Association.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're outspoken against the league like Chris Paul has been. Like, he'll call their card, and you know what I mean? Like, that's just like with Al Davis when he went to sue the NFL and he called out the NFL. Yeah. Oh, yeah? Okay. Watch how we do your team sometimes. Watch. You know what I mean? Like, just watch. You know what I mean? That's the bitch about, you know what I mean, business and sports, man. Like, you know what I mean? You got to fucking go along. You got to basically go along to get along, man. Yeah. It can't just be straight fucking forward with – it can't just be the straight sports. Let these guys compete. Who wins? You know what I mean? There's always got to be some extra shit.
Yeah, like how you stop Chris Paul going to the Lakers, but you let Durant play with Harden and Irving, like then you let LeBron
or
play
Steph,
with Wade and
Clay, Draymond.
Yeah,
like, come on, man.
Like, out of
but
all
yeah,
those...
definitely. I'm about to say, to wrap it up with the boxing or whatever. I want to say for my sleeper fight that I want to see coming up, I want to see maybe Crawford. If you can't get the Spence fight one of the other top welterweights.
Yeah.
Fight maybe the boy, even Ennis.
Yeah, Ennis would be a good fight. But I haven't seen Ennis fight in a while, so I don't know how he's doing. But that would be a good fight.
It's just so crazy because, like I said, these between lightweight on up, we have so many pick of the litter fights now. It's like there's so many fights you could want to see. Because, you know what I mean? Like Benavidez and Ramirez.
Crawford could have took that fucking Pacquiao fight.
Yeah, you know he turned it down. He turned it down because of the money.
Yeah, he wanted like the 50-60 split or some shit like that. And he always got excuses. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
You gotta outprice yourself. It's like, no, don't outprice yourself. If I'm Terrence Crawford, I would have took that Pacquiao fight, beat him. Now with Spence, you get 50-50. Now he has no excuse to not give you half the pot.
He fucked himself over anyways, because if Spence beats Pacquiao and he wants to get Spence to fight, Spence gonna get this either 60-40 or 70-30. Or
70-30. He getting 70-30.
Yeah, because he hasn't fought in so long. Yeah, he hasn't fought so long. Spence just be the top contender. That's 70-30. Yep. Like, you just fucked yourself out of your money.
That's a fact, man. That is a big, big fact. I would say another heavyweight fight to look out for is Anthony Joshua if they don't get after Usyk. Well, like I said, I think Usyk can upset him. I really like that fight. That's a fight I'm going to be paying attention to. But let's say if Anthony Joshua gets past that fight or whatever, if he gets past that fight, well, what happens if Wilder does beat Fury?
Then we gotta get.
Can we finally get what we've been wanting for so long? Like,
I hope if Wilder wins, I hope they fight in America because I'm not trying.
But you want to know what the bitch about it's gonna be, bro? You know what the bitch about it's gonna be, though, bro?
What?
As if Wilder does beat Fury this time, right? They're gonna do a fourth fight because of the first fight being a draw.
Oh yeah.
You know, this is boxing, man. And they're going to bleed this thing out to whatever. So I can see that being happening. But I would really like if after this Wilder Fury fight, if Wilder comes out victorious, if we just get a unification fight between the winner of Usyk and Joshua.
Yeah. But
I would really like that.
We definitely going to have to tune in again after this Benavidez fight. I think it's either next week or in 2 weeks.
All right. Definitely.
We definitely gonna have to tune in again. After that.
We could do we can do live commentary.
Yeah, we could do that too. I'm with it.
Word. Say less, bro.
Hell yeah.
But you already know. But we're gonna get up off here for today, y'all. This is 717 Sports Chat Live. I'm Marcus J. As you see, it's my boy SPZ Suckers. We are out here for today. Everybody have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and catch you on later on in the week.
Been a good podcast. I holla.
All right, brother. I'll catch you later.
Peace.
Huh? Bro.